30 minutes.
I have been falling for 30 minutes. If you actually think that I was just the right gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, nigga, gay guy, gay guy. And you check your count.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time once again. It's Tuesday night, and this is the Monday Night War Retrospective. I am the world's wokest warrior, primitive-sided, toxic fanboy, aligned with the like-minded, tone deaf, rocking with you. I want to welcome one and all to the Clown World Review. What's up, everybody? Everyone in the chat, Mr. Chris Fisk, Superfan Adam Shawhan, Brutal Morningwood. Who else do we have in here? Keely Chow. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for the birthday wishes. That's right, it's the big 4-0, and I'm wondering what the fuck happened between 25 and 39. I feel like my life just kind of stroked out and skipped. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure that part out. But, yeah, it's great to see everyone. Frank and Deshahan, Wiener Dog Clan. What's up, man? Yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go around the panel. We've got Mr. Vinnie Tartamella joining us in just a little while. Right under me here is the man with the plan. I don't even, like, you look somewhere between a Pitbull concert and, like, leading us to Jurassic Park to check out your new attraction, you know.
Nature will always find a way.
Yes.
Nature finds a way. It's me, Etep Wokuian, and I got these sunglasses free at the dispensary the other day for spending a stupid amount of money. So, hooray me. Hey, gang, what's going on? Happy birthday, Tony, man. 40, welcome to the club. You know, what can I say? There's more nose and ear hair waiting for you. I mean, I don't fucking, there's really nothing good about it. That's a ringing endorsement. I'm about to be 42 here in a couple months. But yeah, man, it's really not all bad. 40's the new 20, bro. I don't feel a day over 70 most days. So
see, I keep hearing 40's the new 20, but I heard that from the cashier over at my local grocer, and she doesn't look a day over 48, and she told me she just hit 40 like a couple months ago. So when they tell me 40 is the new 20, I don't know about that.
It just depends on how much meth you've done in your life, I guess, it's the fucking question, man.
Yes.
Is that what determines age? Is meth use?
It doesn't help. It doesn't help.
And guys, this is a very good friend of mine. He's like a brother. We've basically grown up together. Like, I talk about that stroke off from 25 to 39. This man was he can bear witness to the fact that I was those ages. This is my buddy Bobby Daltrey. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Happy birthday, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I'm more concerned with you talking about the stroke off and people witnessing it. Now, I'm a little concerned about that.
Bro, it was freaky. It was freaky.
Hey, from like your mid-20s to like your late 30s, you're just jerking everybody off, trying to get ahead in life, and that's all he's talking about.
Exactly.
Oh, dude, this there's constantly just dicks everywhere.
And no one's
God.
fucking
Yeah,
appreciating
everywhere you turn, there's a dick, dude. There's a dick at the gas station. There's a dick at the grocery store. And you just gotta appease this guy's interest in order to, I don't know, get your fucking can of beans and your fucking 87 unleaded.
So what you guys are saying is you don't care if there's a whole beach full of dicks, that you would eat your way through them to accomplish your goals.
Happy birthday! I heard a weird conversation just now, but happy birthday!
what. So
Hey,
let me
Hey guys,
finish.
I have eaten a beach. I've eaten the Normandy of dicks because I'm in the United States Army to get where I'm at right now. So
Jesus.
I'll be back later, guys.
Yeah, let me go around the panel. Yeah, Pat Patterson's. You'll find him on Omaha Beach every day.
I thought he hung out in the Bay Area.
I think it's pronounced the gay area.
Gay.
So next up, now he's a vampire, but he ain't the sparkly kind unless he is hanging out on the beach. Mr. Angelous Draven, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
Happy the big 4-0. I still only have 4 more years for that, so I'm
It goes
counting
quick.
the days or the years.
It goes quick.
But yeah, happy birthday. Looking forward to talking some wrestling. We're at the pinnacle of where things start getting pretty good. So yeah.
Yeah, you know, again, you're right. We're about a month away from Austin 316. We're about 3 months away from the NWO. And Nitro's feeling it in the ratings, you know. Like there's some NBA final stuff going on right now, but with Hogan gone, even though we might not really look back with rose-colored glasses, now he's definitely a draw back then. And Etep and I were talking about that earlier. So, thank you for joining us, man.
Yep, anytime.
Mr. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. How are you?
Well, let me tell you, brother, I can't believe I'm sitting here with a bunch of you youngsters. When I used to be back in the ring, we didn't put up with this kind of nonsense from you kids. You're going to have to learn your place. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective here. Happy birthday, Tony, and it's nice to see all the wonderful people that are already in the chat, and it's always wonderful to see the awesome people that we got on this panel. Yeah, that's about it. Guinea pigs have taken away the rest of my common sense, so don't expect a whole lot out of me today.
Thank you for joining us, man. And last but not least, he is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. VinnieArt. How are you?
I'm good, brother. What, are you going through a wind tunnel?
Yeah, I'm picking up a little background noise.
is it just me, or do these dudes sound like they're talking through like 1980s like Apple IIc computer?
Well, you know what I thought? What I thought it was is from the earlier discussion. I thought somebody was just eating a bag of dicks while this whole thing was running.
Whoa.
Wow.
Again, you guys, man, you got very, very Pat Patterson on us all. This is crazy.
I was gonna say, is this is this the salad bar at the Blue Oyster?
Or Chris Canyon? Was it the other one?
Who's gayer than Canyon? Nobody.
Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's proving already to be a crazy night. We're only like 9 minutes in. But yeah, man, it's going to be a great birthday bash, I think. And and Tommy, dude, thank you. Once again, I got a package today from Tommy, and it's not what you think.
All this.
You don't have to brag about my package. Everybody already knows.
Oh
Guinea
my
pigs
God.
always go big.
I know, brother. I'm also
I think I know what's happening. Bobby, do you have any earbuds also? Because I think we're picking up the sound coming out of your phone and feedback and back in.
Got a nasty echo.
It's probably just my phone. I can turn the volume down, I guess.
As long as you can like hear us or whatever too, but I think it's looping back around into your microphone.
Well, if he's got looping background, you could just mute your mic in between when you're not talking. And that'll
He can-
cancel out all the noise.
He can just mute it and put closed captions on.
Clean closed captions.
Clean closed captions, not dirty.
What
closed
about
captions.
dirty closed captions?
I mean, it depends on what day of
But-
the week it is. How's your laundry cycle?
The
I'm
dick
not-
captions.
I'm doing laundry right now.
Well, I guess, as long as you're not wearing your dun-dun-duns, if you're on camera, we're fine.
So let's start the night off. I watched the first WWE current show in a year. Since whenever, okay, I quit watching every day when the WrestleMania in 2015 happened. We had Roman Reigns wrestling against Brock Lesnar for the title. Seth Rollins comes out, cashes in his Money in the Bank, and it just kind of hit me I've seen everything there is to see. I mean, there's just really, I'm not a big Rollins fan. I'm not a big Reigns fan. Lesnar's cool, but he's around, 3 times a year at best. And we just came off the era of John Cena.
Yeah.
I was waiting a long time to get out of that era so we could hopefully push into something better. And I started realizing, no, we're actually getting into something worse than even the same old shit. It's people didn't like Reigns. He was kind of like the appointed corporate champion from Vince McMahon that we used to boo during the Attitude Era. We didn't want that. Wrestling's about the outlaws. So then I caught the WrestleMania with Becky Lynch in the 3-way with Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey. That was kind of a cluster F in itself. Ronda botched that ending, if you guys saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go into this year's Royal Rumble, and literally what happens? They set up Ronda versus either Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair, and they set up Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. And it's been 7 years since I watched this product, and we're setting up the same fucking matches.
Yep.
Yep. Well, they bring Ronda Rousey back in, and it's like you bastards got rid of so many of the talented females on your roster and misused them, booked them horribly. You take every athletic looking female you have and you run her off for some skinny bitch with big tits that can't work her way out of a fucking paper bag. Is half these, and you get girls like Dana Brooke, who's a natural athlete, she needs work in the ring. She needs work. She's gotten a little bit better, but it's like
You
you have
definitely
these.
slimmed down a bit.
Don't even get me started. I like that thick ass little fucking look like I'd pay her to choke me. Anyway, but either with them biceps or them thighs, I don't care. I'm a freak like that. I'll pay for it. But no, just Xenia on the top me and fucking end it. That's a happy ending to me. Anyway, before we kink shame, unless you're a furry, then you can fuck off. Anyway, but no, they misbooked the women's division so bad. It's and Vince wants I don't know. I don't even know if he's even booking
Embarrassed by
it is. He's senile. He's senile. He doesn't need to be in charge of shit. I don't even watch it. That was the first pay-per-view I've watched since Mania, I think maybe 2 years ago. I watch highlights on YouTube. If somebody says, "Hey, check this out," I'll usually watch, but I don't watch the current product in any shape or form.
It's too much to get through.
It's homogenized. It's watered down. Dude, okay, so I was going to say this for later, but we're talking about the product now. During the second Raw, Jerry Lawler, okay, some of the references he makes. Mm-hmm. He references George C. Scott's sex scandal on the air in a Viagra and penis pumps during the Body Dominance in Team Techno 2000, all right? He says, "Hey, Vince, you can get rid of that pump now. They got these little pills that'll fix everything." He, literally joking around about a sex scandal and Viagra and a penis pump during Raw, and then he refers to Cincinnati Reds owner Marge Schott saying Hitler wasn't a bad guy, he just went too far. calls Goldust a chubby chaser while he's like accosting Paul Bearer outside the ring.
He's calling Savio Vega burrito breath to his
yeah,
face.
dude. Like this is the kind of shit that if they did today, people would melt down and piss themselves.
Yep.
But it made
folk heroes though.
It made the product more fun and more adult, and it you know it was like, oh, do I want to have to explain this to my kid? It's fucking wrestling, dude. It's wrestling.
I think more than anything, Etep, I think it made it more unpredictable.
It did. It did because you're using current event shit that and you're putting, but it's not like, oh well, they're putting like BLM shit in there or something. You know what I mean? It's just like it's the announcers making jokes about inappropriate current events, which is fucking beautiful. That's the kind of shit. When I did color, that's what I used to do. I had, dude, trust me, being a Jew, I made all kinds of Jew. We had a Jew tag team. Oh my God. Because I never used that in my gimmick at all. So we had a Jewish tag.
You were the Jerry Seinfeld of wrestling.
I hit it. And I hit it. I'm like,
camera always zoom in when I'm blading.
And why is it every time? Like this, but this is the kind of shit that wrestling needs to freshen it up, and we're not going to get that today. We're not. It's sad.
I think they're trying to refresh it as far as like they captured you at a young age and saw you through puberty and all that stuff, and now they're realizing like, oh, the young 20-something, 30-somethings have jobs and can't afford to watch Raw now, so we have to recaptivate a new audience. And but now they're all woke and we got to keep it clean, and heaven forbid, like Ronda Rousey, who was a UFC champion, like does anything but win a Royal Rumble. Oh, heaven forbid.
Yeah.
When's the last Bobby, what was the last like wrestling event you watched current, and like around what time did you stop watching kind of religiously every week, every Monday,
It was a few years ago, but went on a YouTube binge lately because I was in the process of moving and had cable disconnected and all that stuff, so I was stuck to my phone and my tablet. But I watched like the 2021 Rumble and everything, watched a lot of those pay-per-views. Like, I didn't know Becky Lynch was a thing or Charlotte Flair was a thing until the past 6 months.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about Charlotte Flair because that bitch can wrestle.
Yeah, she knows her shit.
And so can Becky Lynch. Like they're tough bitches. But then you put over Ronda Rousey, who all she's known for is like a judo arm drag and a fucking armbar in the UFC ring. Like, well, that doesn't equate to the fucking WWE. Yeah. I know one is different than the other. One's a performance. One's an actual like combat fight. I get that, but like, like, why they even like push Ronda Rousey again? Like, are they that hard up for dollars? Let me know what y'all think.
I think Stephanie McMahon lives vicariously through Ronda Rousey. They're good friends.
Yeah, that's why Steph started training for MMA.
Did she?
Well, not like to train for a fight, but she started doing that that style. Yeah, she started doing that style training. Like, I mean, because Steph's in good shape. Like she's she's in good shape. But yeah, so she started doing like that style training with like.
Yeah, she's not a slouch. She's in shape, but
yeah, but she does live vicariously through. Absolutely, Tony, you're right, man, and it's.
She looks at Ronda Rousey how Vince McMahon looks at Donald Trump, like, well, we're cut from the same cloth,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Donald's sitting there looking at Vince going, ha. Donald's sitting there going, but I was president and you weren't, Vince.
And, I think because Ronda Rousey, she's not the most mature person. Like, she lost in an MMA match and went on a World Suicide Tour, calling into different radio stations.
She lost twice in a row. Like,
yeah.
So I'm just to out myself to the crowd. I'm a big UFC fan as well. She lost spectacularly in some very bad defeats.
Oh, and Holly.
and she just dropped out, and she's crying on Ellen, and all stuff. Now she's in the UFC, and she's the baddest bitch on the planet again. I'm like, no, you're not, but appreciate the art you're about to endeavor upon, and understand you're gonna have to lose some. You're gonna have to. You will win some, but you're gonna have to lose some too to further your career.
Well, I don't think she was the losses were really all that spectacular. I think what it was is people just started paying attention to what she was doing, because she was doing the exact same thing over and over again in every single fight. And once you figure out, don't go to the ground with her, and you could easily beat her. That's how she started getting her ass whooped.
Holly Holm exposed her.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
You know, speaking of exposing her, so we take that. She loses a couple times in UFC. She goes over to WWE, where they give her a mainstream song as an entrance theme, and they give her Roddy Piper's gimmick, which I don't care if she got Piper's blessing or not. That's just, it's kind of gross to me. And the fans soon, the fans catch on to her, and they start booing her, and she's supposed to be a baby face, and here we go back on the depression tour. And
well, you know what, Tony? I think more than anything, I think they did the Disney aspect right there. And isn't it so, just like circle back around with it, like Jen Psaki, that now Disney and WWE have a contract together to have stuff there. But they took the Disney approach, and they tried to use nostalgia bait for people. They're like, remember Rowdy Piper? Well, she's wearing his jacket, and she's being endorsed by Roddy Piper. You should love her. And that's all it was. It was nostalgia bait for everybody who knew Rowdy Piper was. That's it.
Yeah. So
hold on a second, Tony. I'm not going to cut you off.
Oh, go.
Fact check me on this. Do Scottish women wear kilts?
Nay.
I say nay as well, sir. Nay.
I'm gonna Google that.
Google that shit. But I thought it was funny because the whole thing was like, she was really never supposed to be in WWE. Period. They tried when she was at the height of her popularity, and she was basically like, no. And then finally, when she said yes, is because she's like, she already had I think lost the match or something. Like, she was already losing a lot of her thunder. And when she came in, she was very arrogant, and you could see it. Like she's owed something, you know. And that's not the way to do it. Show
She's
people
an
you can actually
entitled
wrestle.
bitch.
Yeah. And that's what I want to bring it around to. I guarantee she was upset because they were booing her. She wasn't getting over that well. She leaves for like 2 years, and that's what brought her back. Was they had to promise her another WrestleMania run. A Royal Rumble win, and it irks me because there was a lot of talent in that Rumble Sunday night. A lot of good up and comers.
They promised her a WrestleMania moment again.
Yeah,
just to get it back.
But they're taking it from someone who's been working all year, and that's what really gets me about them bringing these. It just bugs me, because she's not very good.
They do it with Lesnar too, though.
I know.
Lesnar will be gone, and then they'll bring him back and give him a title shot right away. But you have these other guys who've been busting their ass off,
Lesnar,
day in and day out, and
Lesnar
don't get anything.
Can carry a program too. He might.
Well, Lesnar has to chug Imodium AD every day to get through life, and he has to cry in his pillow for Mark Merrill's seconds. So, give the man some pity.
The wild man's fucking sloppies.
We're actually on the part of the Monday Night War now where Sable, he just came over from WCW's Johnny B. Bad. He's been there for about a month now, and he's coming out to that Wild Man Mark Marrow theme, which will eventually become Sable's theme anyway. And it's just, God, she wore the pants in that relationship, so I could see why she pursued someone like Brock next. I get it. She wasn't being fulfilled by the Wild Man.
Well, we know how he woos the girls anyway. He yells for their name, and then they come into the back, and he just opens up his towel. And if they aren't skeeved out and run away, then he's like, "All right, that's going to be the next wife."
He just clubs him over the head and drags him back to the cave. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, it's
Back
like
to the showers, you
evolution.
mean?
Yeah, that too. Evolution like skipped a step with him. I mean,
Yeah.
but
He was
you're
getting
talking
pointers from the missing link.
Ronda Rousey. You know, Ronda Rousey coming into the Fed out of UFC. Honestly, if they were gonna go that route, I would have went with Kat Zingano or Misha Tate, because those two are way more marketable than Rousey. Misha Tate is not only like a badass fighter who is like beautiful, athletic, but she has a huge following online. Kat Zingano, I'm not as sure about anymore, but I guarantee you they could have marketed Cupcake more than they could have Ronda. Misha Tate's actually on Big Brother, the celebrity Big Brother this year. Yeah.
Misha would have been a better face than Ronda.
100 times over, because she actually looks.
Like, they should have brought Ronda out as a complete heel, like just like a just because how she acted, and you know everybody knows this shit. Like Ronda was like a complete kind of bitch to Misha in their second UFC fight, I guess.
Yep.
She wouldn't touch gloves or whatever like that. Like you could brought her out as like a complete fucking heel, and it would have sold better. And I don't think Misha Tate's like akin to joining the WWE. She's still fighting the UFC.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's all about it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I would have thrown out, if you're looking for that kind of talent, I would have went to her. I wouldn't have waited I'm not going to wait for you to come to me. I'm going to go to you and be like, hey, I have an offer. If you want to take the offer, cool. If not, that's cool too. But we think you'd fit with, you know, an idea we had. Would you be open to trying professional wrestling? You know, I think, like I said, Misha she's a way better babyface option than Ronda Rousey. Like I said, her, Kat Zingano, there's a handful of them that you could easily transfer over. But yeah, when Holly Holm beat Ronda Rousey, kicked her into the ground. I mean, I remember the freeze frame of that picture of Rousey. She looked like Sloth from the Goonies when she took that kick.
Fight in real time, and she kicked her
Same.
to death.
Same. Because I was like, I liked Holly Holm. I'm like, I like this girl.
Well, Etep, I mean, you know, to be fair, Ronda, she already looked like the dude from the Goonies. Then she got kicked in the face.
Yeah, this is also true. This is also true. But yeah, Tony, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
No, the point I'm trying to make is, you know, and it kind of veers away from Ronda. So did you have anything else to say, Etep?
No, man.
So,
no, I'm good.
There was a point, number one, I'm not a big fan of Reigns or Rollins, but they went out there, first match of the night, they kind of killed it. It was a good match, and it's at one of the big 5 pay-per-views, and the other than the Royal Rumble match, the title match at the Royal Rumble usually is the other half of setting the tone for WrestleMania and what you're going to get. They had this killer match, and then they ended it in a DQ, and that kind of just fell on a flat note, and it took everything you just watched for the past 20 minutes, kind of made it not matter.
Yep.
Then we go into I don't know if there's a match between then, but I mean, it's just the night kind of progressively got worse. You have this pretty decent women's Rumble match that ends on a flat note. You've got Edge going out there looking like he aged 20 years in the past too. I'm sorry, but just compared to Christian, Edge does not look good. He aged. He can still go, but you know, like we said, you had Maurice. She was one of the model divas. You know, she never took wrestling serious. And you had Maurice doing a Hurricane Rana on a guy that's main evented WrestleMania with The Undertaker before.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That
won 2 Royal Rumbles.
Yeah.
Multiple tag team champion, intercontinental champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Edge is beloved. Like he's not a very divisive character. Like people respect Edge. They like Edge. Those table ladders and chair matches really worked wonders for everyone involved's career. And I still think they benefit from that today. They have a certain credibility to them.
Oh, yeah.
But then, okay, so the Lashley Lesnar match, that's what I would have done for WrestleMania, honestly. That was so well hyped, how they did that package about being forged, and it takes you back to Brock Lesnar's family's farm and shows that grain mill, and it's like Lesnar and Sons, and then you see Bobby Lashley. He starts his career in 1991 and ends up joining the military like his father and becomes the heavyweight champion for the Army, I believe. And it felt like a real tale of the tape. It felt like a legitimate event, something you would see in the UFC or a big boxing match or something. And it's bad enough the first title match ended in DQ, but then that second match, it just fell flat, and all it did was set up Reigns versus Lesnar at Mania. All it did was make the Rumble predictable, but you have Reigns go out there, and him and Heyman basically double crosses Lesnar for Reigns, which I just don't. It just doesn't mean anything to me, Like Lesnar and Heyman make a much better team than Heyman is going to with Reigns, and that's just.
Well, you know what, Tony? I think
talking now, so that's why they did it.
Yep.
I think Tony hit on something though when he's talking about building up the tail of the tape, because they did the same thing when they had that feud between Angle and Lesnar all those years ago, and that worked really well because you were sitting there, pointing out their accomplishments outside of professional wrestling and everything that they did, and then getting into the ring and everything. That it made sense doing it that way, and it hyped that match up quite a bit more than you probably would have expected.
Yeah, and then Lesnar concussed himself.
Which is beautiful. I could watch that over and over.
Yeah, he did. I watched that with Bobby. We were over at some family's house, and he went up there to do that shooting star press WrestleMania 19, and the lights were out. He completed the match, but he wasn't. Lesnar wasn't home after that. He fell on his head. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I remember that, Tommy. And same thing. They're both legitimate athletes with legitimate accomplishments. And when they hype matches like that, it really brings it to another level. And you've got two big guys in there. It wasn't ever going to be Benoit and Guerrero. It wasn't ever going to be Michaels and Undertaker. But it was good enough. And just after they had a DQ finish with the first title match, and then just that wonky finish, and then again, I don't know anybody who didn't say after that Lesnar's going to come out in one of the last spots and win the Rumble, and that's something I don't like either. Like, if you used to be in the title match, you weren't in the Rumble later.
Right.
It wasn't a rule. It was just how it was.
Yep.
So
I see what Adam's saying in the chat too, and I wouldn't doubt it. On a loop, watch Paul turn on Reigns. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I hate seeing the last member to enter the Rumble win it. It's cheap. You know what I'm saying?
It is cheap.
I equate that to that soccer player too, Ronaldo. I always call him a garbage man because if you play the sport, he's a forward, so he sits there and he waits for the balls and he just kicks it right in. To me, that's cheap as shit.
Yeah, you're not really playing.
Yeah, but Cena did it a long time ago. Cena's back, yay! 30 person in the Rumble, and he wins it 10 years ago, whatever. But it's cheap.
Yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
It's a cheap reintroduction to an injured, performer, and it's cheap. No, you have people out there that are working their ass off, not injured, and promote the appropriate talent, and the appropriate talent is not Ronda Rousey right now. Honestly, it should have been Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it.
Like, no, she's been there doing the fucking work. Ronda Rousey gets a little skin taken off her finger, freaks out, and she retreats, and then comes back. It's disingenuous and it's hurtful to the craft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hurtful to the people that spend the majority of time away from their families and their home and paying for their own hotel rooms and food, and it's just there's too many things going against this Rumble, and including what you just said, Bobby. You know, not only was Lesnar in the title match, not only was the men's Royal Rumble very lackluster, but you've got the guy coming in at number 30 winning it. And I mean, there was a point where there were more former world champions in the ring. There was Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, AJ Styles, Big E, Drew McIntyre, and there's maybe like one or two people in there that hadn't lived the dream yet. So it kind of takes away from that upper echelon. Like, yeah. I don't really want to see any of these people win the Rumble. Where's that new up-and-coming talent that you just can't hold back, and they're about to take the world by storm, and you can feel the energy and momentum from the crowd just waiting for their music to hit? I mean, that wasn't there.
John Cena buried them all back when they were in the Nexus.
Yeah, for real.
Drew McIntyre should have taken the Rumble. That dude deserves.
I would have rather seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he won it in 2020, I believe. So I mean, I don't mind if somebody wins the Rumble, twice, 3 times maybe, but yeah, it's it was sad because I went into this Rumble saying, okay, here's where I'm going to get back into the product. Here's where they're going to catch me again. And by the time that ended, it was, another monster. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the birthday wishes, brother. I appreciate that. Were you saying something, Vinny?
No, yeah. When you said you thought the Rumble was going to get you back to the product, fooled you.
So,
and evil will always win because good is dumb.
I have another story here I want to look at, but before I do that, as another monster just mentioned, it is my birthday, and who knew it would come on my birthday? But I got to pick a present this year, and I'm like, what do I really want? Nah, we've got some great people in this community. Let me get my camera on here. So we've got some great people in this community, some great artists, people who aren't happy with the pop culture situation, the entertainment industry, and they could sit in front of a camera and complain about it and chase trends and make 5-6 videos a day just talking about the same stuff, or they can go out and do something about it. And not that he wasn't working in the industry before a lot of this started, but Vinny's one of those people. He's a talented artist, and I've been wanting to get some of his books for a while, so get some of his projects, because not only is he a friend, but he makes a product that just kind of catches your eye and makes you interested. You want to see what happens. And then, when we talk about Through the Woods, I think Frankie knows, and you can catch him in the chat all the time. He's a great guy. And you hear that, you two worked on this in a collaboration, and that just really sparked my interest. So I'm like, what do I want for my birthday? I want Through the Woods.
Dude, so that's a huge honor. Of everything you could get, you wanted that. Dude, you are amazing, man. And I really do hope you enjoy the hell out of this book, because it was a lot of work, man.
I appreciate it, man, because I know, dude, it's not easy creating something from nothing.
No, it's not.
And it always amazes me to see people's talent. So who would have known? I was like, I'll order it a little early. It'll come a few days early, but it came today, which is just like perfect. It came on my birthday, and I couldn't be happier. So I haven't opened it yet. Like, we're staring at a white box right now. My lighting isn't the best, so just didn't want y'all to think I was, holding up the product itself. But I just wanted to open this on the air and take a look at it and show it off. Etep's always getting to show off his comic books, so yeah.
Yeah, the timing was pretty perfect, I'd say, on that one. But hey, man, they don't call me the Fulfillment King for nothing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too. Like, when you order a book from Vinny, he doesn't fuck around. It's not, oh, well, it's coming. Just another few months. I need to go to Star Wars Celebration, and then when I come back, I'll finish it. He had this thing in the mail the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, you're legitimately getting what you paid for when you were supposed to get it, and you don't feel like you're watching a really bad porno on Pornhub.
The frogs are gay.
Frogs are gay.
No,
don't drink that water in Jersey.
Here. Yeah. So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that into comics, but I believe this is the ash can, Vinny.
Yep. Yeah, it's the ash can.
I mean, look at the emotion in this picture alone. Look at the despair on that gentleman. He just watched the Rumble too.
He watched the Rumble while eating Chipotle's. I need a bathroom. It's coming out of both ends.
Oh, Lord.
Man, these are some beautiful looking pictures here.
Yeah. Yeah, the ash can is like all kinds of different sketches and layouts and stuff like that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Thank you, man.
Dude, a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
it was really
I can't
good
wait
too.
to get the rest of them.
Thanks, man.
And here we have the main event hardcover, and I know these are limited, and I wanted to get one as soon as I possibly could, and I'm really happy I did. It's Through the Woods.
It's customary to knock on it for everybody, so they know for a fact. There you go.
Hardcover, real shit. And again, it's now I might get the credits wrong. I want to make sure to get them correct. The story here was written by Frankie.
We came up with it. Well, the concept together, but I did the first draft of the story. And then I let Frankie rewrite it as well. I mean, it stayed almost exactly to what it was supposed to be. We removed one character and changed the ending. That was pretty much it. But then he's like I said, the co-writer and the co-creator on this project. And it was a lot, but dude, very, very proud of this book. So proud of it.
And you should be, man. This thing looks great. It looks professional. It is professional. I mean, I can't wait to crack this open and read it. And
Thanks, man. Oh, there's a bookmark in the very back. If you open it up, there's a bookmark we put in there as well.
I was going to say, I think I saw that. Yes, beautiful.
No, I just want to point this out real quick. I don't know if Vinny will agree with me or not, but like the whole thing with the whole Comicscape thing, I don't even think people like Vinny should be associated with something so low. They should be just known as independent creators because that's what they truly are.
Yeah, well, I've been saying it for the longest time, man. The independent scene, that's what it is. No one gives me a paycheck. No one's telling me what to do. So there's no one above me, And to me, that shit is just what do you call it? Just a piss poor marketing tool for one person and a handful of his friends. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm independent. I've always been independent. We just keep working our asses off and getting good product out there.
Definitely. And that's really what it is. Like, if you make a good product, the labels and the hashtags and none of that matters because the work speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm. If you make it, they will come and come again.
Giggity.
That's what she said.
Right. And over here, we're not punching down on other creators either. So and that's the big difference, right? Because when you preach about something and then guess what, you're doing things that are just as bad or worse than what you're fighting against. Well, then it makes you have no face, and you're also a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So
And it does. It crushes the hope of the people that you gave it to. You know.
oh yeah. Well, they've done it across the board. Same thing happened with, what do you call it? Your boy Zach there. He said he would never bend over for Wade, and he did. And people donated a whole bunch of money. And it's okay. Well, then what does this stand for? It doesn't stand for shit. It looks like it is a grift or bullshit or whatever you want to say. And that's the sad thing about all of it, right? That's why it should be, get the book out there. Preach about what you want to preach about, but yeah, you better make sure you're gonna have good stuff out there as well, not just being a crybaby on streams. You know, I hate this, I hate that. Where. That's not doing anything, man. That's not growing anything. That's just putting more negative shit out in the world.
Like you say, save that drama for the page. Save that passion for the page.
That's right, man. That's where it should be. You want your characters in your story to have twists and turns and ups and downs and all that shit. Don't do it in on YouTube and social media. It's just ridiculous.
Yes.
It's so ridiculous how they attack each other too. Like these certain, as they say, comicscape people that want to preach that we are not doing what the mainstream is doing, yet they're sitting there beating up on other creators and attacking them.
Exactly.
And then what exactly is that accomplishing?
Well,
in the end, because there's plenty of room for everybody to be able to put their stories and grow. It's unwarranted and unneeded.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you get the the dude with his little minions, and he sends them out to other people, other creators' live streams, has them spam them, report them, attack them on Twitter and stuff like that. And it's like, what the hell kind of business do you run? Like, are you a 13-year-old girl, or are you one of the SJWs that you cry about every day?
Exactly.
Because that's the tactics you're employing.
Of course. Well, that's the thing, right? They have money to fall back on, right? So they don't care. They're having fun with people, because that's what negative people do. That's what horrible people do. They want to try to punch down on others, and it gets them off. And it's really twisted. But if this person didn't have all of that, and then tried this shit, it'd be a totally different story.
Yeah.
They'd be living on the street anymore.
Yeah.
They'd be living on the street.
Well, you look at some of those people when they first started. They were oh so kind to everybody else in the community that was trying to create something themselves. And then all of a sudden, as they became more popular and they became more notorious, like all of a sudden, that's when the punching down started. And it didn't even start just punching down. They were punching straight at other people that were on their level because, hey, you're taking away some of my thunder.
Of course, and it's also to create that bullshit drama with other big YouTubers, and they think that they could get an audience or siphon off an audience and then fight with someone else and then move on. It's really parasitic the way that it really all kind of plays out. But it's exactly what they do, right? It's gross, man. That's why when I had that stream right with AJ here, the SGWs. Want to pretend to be alphas, and they're nothing but SJWs. For real. Bunch of pussies. You know? And that's what it is, man. It's fucking gross. Get the work done. Get the work done and help fucking people. Not just your little hand-picked, chosen, whatever. I don't give a shit.
It's like we're battling a good boys club. We're trying to get away from a good old boys club. Let's not make another one. That doesn't help anybody.
Like I said, if it came from the mainstream, it's always going to be the mainstream, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's gross.
Speaking of punching down, Hornswoggle, he had some choice words for Peter Dinklage. Did anyone see this?
Yeah. I saw some of that.
I listened to it in the Jeep today.
Let's take a look here. I'm going to show the screen. Everything's running a little slow, everyone, so bear with me. I appreciate it. I'm like trying to show comments, and it's like, lagging. So, but yeah, so I saw this today. I guess what this is from. I guess yesterday. Yeah. Hornswoggle calls out Peter Dinklage. I listened to this earlier, and we're probably not going to listen to the whole 5 minutes, but he had some good points to be made, and with this whole Peter Dinklage thing, it really disturbs me because Etep and I talk all the time about how it feels like everyone these days, they climb the ladder, pull it up behind them, and then sneer at anyone who tries to be successful. You know, and that's just that. Yeah, let's watch the clip and
Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage went on a podcast the other day and declared that it was, quote, offensive and backward that Disney was planning to hire real-life dwarves, little people, for a remake of the film Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Listen.
I was a little taken back by they're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White.
Yeah.
But you're still telling the story of Snow White,
yeah.
and Seven Dwarfs.
Sure.
So, take a step back and look at what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I know. That makes no sense to me.
Well,
you're progressive in one way, but you're still making that backward story of seven dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man?
He's just getting woke points here.
So in response to that podcast Real Power at the Disney company.
So Tony, pause, fucking fucker, Failson.
What's that?
So do y'all remember like the 80s and the 90s who the popular, like, I'll be politically correct, little person actor was?
Warwick Davis?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was in Willow. He was in
Willow and shit. He was in
everything. 1 through 150,000.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Game of Thrones comes through, and they have to cast a little person to play this. What was it? Tyrion Lannister? Was that his name?
Yeah, Tyrion Lannister.
He's trying to monopolize the market. At the same time, seeming offended, like, oh, let's not make a big Disney movie that's going to probably generate millions of dollars in revenue and help out a whole bunch of my community. No, let's not do that. That's offensive.
Yeah, there can't be 7 of me, so it's bad.
When I just made millions of dollars off of Game of Thrones, and nope, I'm top midget now.
Yep.
I promise you that there is some small little, like, infested community of, like, little people actors. I don't want to be offensive here, so I won't say the M word, but little people actors, like, you're the top M.
Mm-hmm. They're M squared. They're M squared right now. They're mad midgets.
That's the only way. That's the only way that he's going to be on top of somebody, right? That he's got stature is by saying that he's the top one.
But he wouldn't.
I'm sorry, dude.
Doc.
Huh?
Peter Dinklage probably had to play Doc in the whole Snow White thing. It seems like, like the head of the tribe or whatever. He's got to cast a whole bunch of little people behind him, and Warwick Davis is probably one of them. He's a film actor and has done this for way longer than Peter Dinklage has.
Yeah,
he's working on a Willow series now.
Peter Dinklage is a fucking miniature cockblocker.
Yeah.
Well, he's an asshole. He's always been an asshole. There's stories about this guy all over the place because he's got that entitlement thing too, right? Exactly what he was in Elf. That's what he is. He's a dick. But I'm sorry.
Was he an elf?
Huh?
Was he an elf?
Yeah. The one that said, "Call me elf" one more time, and then he beats up Will Ferrell.
Yeah, but you also have the little guy that was in fucking was that movie Bill Bob Thornton?
Oh, Bad Santa.
Bad Santa.
Real quick, I want to hit something in the chat real quick. Brutal, no, that was Kenny Baker.
Yep, Kenny Baker was
R2D2,
R2,
not Warwick.
Yeah. Hey,
no, Warwick was one of the
Ewoks.
Ewoks.
He was one of the murder
he's
bears.
wicked.
He was he was. I say he was one of the murder bears. But no, you got the little blick midget running around there, bud. He's the little black midget from what is it there? Bad Santa.
Warwick Davis was the leprechaun, though, wasn't he?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. See, exactly. Like he's the OG. He was in Willow. For fuck's sake, he started alongside Brad Pitt.
Used to be Billy Barty back in the day, if anybody remembers that name.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget Warwick. He was the midget Wookiee that was trying to eat my wife.
No, Harrison. He was trying to eat out your wife.
Same difference. Anyway,
Flockhart sounds like a disease.
What was that?
Callista Flockhart sounds like a disease.
If you're suffering from Callista Flockhart from exposure to asbestos, you may be entitled to monetary compensation. Please call us at the law firm of James Suckalove at 1-800-555-SUCK-MY-LOVE. That's 1-800-555-SUCK-MY-LOVE. I know there's a lot of numbers there and letters, but it's an extension, and we needed it for comedic purposes. Thank you.
So, us normal-sized people, we can harp on this all day, but we really need to hear what Mr. Hornswoggle has to say, who not only played... He didn't play a little person, he is, but...
He was my son, Tony. He was my son.
Yeah.
It was me, Austin.
It was supposed to be Mr. Kennedy. Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Fucked up. Mr. Kennedy got in trouble, so they're like, "Oh God." Damn
no, he hurt Randy Orton. Remember? Yeah, that's yeah. He hurt Orton and Cena whined.
Yeah. So
now some dwarf actors are acting.
Let's jump ahead to Mr. Swoggle here.
Don't shortchange his time.
So I think a lot of people hear this podcast and they think, well, here's a guy who's got the authority to speak on this. And that's his view, and no one kind of questions it. Tell us what your reaction to it was.
I mean, my biggest thing is he wants to be progressive, and it's all about progression, and I support that completely. But the issue is him being progressive is eliminating 7 potential dream jobs from the dwarf acting community, and that's my issue here. Is he's saying he wants to move forward and do good for the community. When these are dream jobs. I got hired by WWE. WWE was my dream job since I was 4 years old. Since I was 4 years old, all I wanted to be was a WWE superstar. And in any other circumstance, it wouldn't have been able to be done by me. I'm not 6 foot. I'm not 250 pounds. But they were looking for a person like me, a little person, to fill this role. They hired me, and I got to live my dream for 10 years. Now there's dwarf actors out there that their dream is to star in a film, especially a Disney film, because as we know, Disney doesn't do remakes or any of their movies at a small scale. They were going to blow this movie up, obviously. And these are 7 roles that are few and far between for dwarves anyways, that were made for us. And that's what's ridiculous to me about the whole situation is it's not being progressive. You're hurting the community by what you're doing.
You make a really good point.
He goes on to say, Peter Dinklage, you're not the master of all of us. You don't get to decide what's best for the rest of us. So,
no, but Peter Dinklage is being woke and being like, oh, this is oppressive to us and all that stuff. Like, dude,
no, it's not. It's a fairy tale. This was a classic fairy tale, like in the 1800s. And who is this guy to be like, hey, you know what? Oh, this is offensive. We shouldn't be making it at all. Dude, Dinklage is a fucking dick.
Well, you know what it is? It's the people that have the woke mentality It's the people that have the woke mentality. They automatically assume that they could just promote themselves to that position every single time, and you see it everywhere. I mean, look at some of the shit like Oprah has said recently because she's suddenly an authority on everything. Look at the comments that Elvira has been making on Twitter. These people, once they get into that woke messaging and woke ideology, they feel that they are entitled to just speak for everybody else.
Savior complex.
They know better than you.
We're talking about the little people here. Like literally and figuratively, the little people here.
Yeah.
Like, how often do you see like an actor that's a little person like cast in any role, and like Disney's like, hey, you know what? We want to do live action like Snow White, 'cause that's our original fucking animated movie, and we think it would be nice to do that. Oh, we can redo the Lion King with some fake fucking animation and all that shit. They didn't cast real lions, but we can actually cast like actual people that would fit the role. And you have Peter Dinklage, who made his millions and millions of dollars throughout the fucking Game of Thrones fucking series. Like, oh, this is offensive. But yeah, because you want to be the number one dude, and you don't give a fuck about anybody else.
No. Just
also, tell me you never seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs without telling me you haven't seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The fucking dwarves didn't live in caves. They lived in the house, and they were miners in the cave.
Yeah.
So get your fucking story straight first, Mr. Dinklage, before you fucking,
anyway.
you know.
And they were happy. They would sing on their way to the mine.
Hi ho.
Yeah, they were happy. They were joyous, and all of a sudden, this young fucking teenage girl comes in their fucking midst with all types of fucking mommy and baby daddy drama and all that shit, and gets poisoned, and they're all like fucking fretting over her and all that shit. Who's they gonna cast if they made this movie? Who are they gonna cast for the fucking woman? Like fucking Mila Kunis? She gonna be all like emotional.
They casted
Go
ahead,
Vinny. Wasn't she Latina or like
she's Latina?
Latinx.
Yeah.
No, they in all the articles like they talked like Dinklage even called. Well, he fucked up because he called her Latino. I'm like dumbass. It's a masculine and feminine language. She's a Latina. First of all, let me correct you there. Yeah, like and like Draven said, I'm like, they don't live in a cave, you dipshit. They're miners. They go off with their pickaxes and they mine all day, and then they go home to their house. They have a house with doors and windows and bedrooms and things and a kitchen.
They go home
and step stools so they can get up to the higher stuff.
Yeah, basically, it's like going to
they eat together. They produce together. Like this sounds like reality to me when you talk about like dudes who were like an oil derricks and fucking coal mines. Shit. This is realistic. There's a bunch of dudes have to go home to each other, and then eventually maybe they'll, get vacation time or something like that, and then they'll go like visit baby mama.
Yeah.
Let's hope, because if they're gonna get so progressive, they might make them all gay.
Probably.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. But there is.
That would be such a mess of pronouns. Like, well, I'm sleepy. I'm Doc. I'm nosy. I'm droopy. I'm sleepy.
I'm China.
I'm they them.
I'm gazy. I'm blowsy. I'm anally.
I'm anally. Hey, I'm the pigeon. Get vaccinated. I got hairy legs.
Booster. I'm Booster.
I poop myself.
And I'm in love with my toaster.
Hey, look, it's the greatest it's the greatest black man since Sean King.
He's
You're
real
absolutely
articulate.
right.
I'm not black. I'm white.
It's the greatest black man since Michelle Obama.
I thought I was gay, but this Hispanic girl that fell asleep at her house, I can't wait to fuck her.
Hey, man, I'll smell her hair.
Patterson.
So, a Latinx passed out in the White House. Kamala deported him. She's bad.
Florida.
She flew him to Delaware. I think I used to live there.
You were there last weekend, Mr. President.
I don't even know.
Like I was just like the title of the show says, this is the Monday Night War retrospective, and I think we should talk about it. And this, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this wasn't the most exciting 2 weeks I've seen since we started watching. It was
Oh, actually, Tony, I thought we were talking about it because it sounded really exciting at first.
I mean, I won't go as far as to say I'm missing Hulk Hogan, but Nitro's going through some issues right now. It's the NBA Finals, whatever.
Oh, it's playoffs. The finals start in June. You miss Hulk Hogan.
I do. I miss.
I don't.
I miss them shaving his tickler off his face. You know. So, number one, I'm pretty sure WWF beat WCW in the ratings both weeks. Last Tuesday when we were talking about those episodes, the what was it, the 22nd and the 15th. But now we're here. We're April 29th, 1996 is the first week. Raw's coming to you again from Sioux City, Iowa. And they're the weekly winner with a rating of 2.9. And that's compared to WCW coming to you from Albany, Georgia. And WCW this week is pre-recorded. I think this is the first Nitro we got. We've had some preempted Nitros, but this is the first one that wasn't broadcasted live. They are the weekly loser with 2.1. So they lost by a good, 0.8 ratings points. And still, they both are in a 2. The audience is still kind of retaining, because we had a lot of ratings in the 1 point something area, 1.5, 1.8 when we were first starting. So we've at least got some people still watching, but not the best rating for Nitro. Pretty thin.
It was honestly the better show the first week though. I don't know how. But WWE was coming off the pay-per-view right here. I still looking at the cards. I don't know, and we did have some dark matches when we get to Raw. Tony, we have 3 dark matches.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Okay, so Raw, Sioux City, Iowa, on 4/29/96, which Tony said it's all taped. They're there for another couple weeks. We've got Greg Walsh, not to be confused with Joe Walsh. Life's been good to him. Life was good to Greg Walsh that night as he defeated Carl the Lumberjack, who ain't Jack no Lumber Baby since his chainsaw you. The second dark match of the night, The Undertaker, went over on Mankind in what was probably a treat to see as a dark match. The Undertaker, because Mankind was fresh right here, so you're getting peak Mick Foley right here coming into that hot,
And it was a dark
with
match.
Amazing promos, which they taped it for another show. Then we have the WWF Championship on the line. Shawn Michaels, the Jerry the King Lawler, calls him a philanderer, a fornicator, according to Jim Cornette. But Jim Cornette can go fornicate himself because he blocked me on Twitter because he's a puto. But anyway, this dark WWF Championship match, Shawn Michaels defeats the man they call Vader.
With your SummerSlam main event, fucking 3 months early.
Yep. So that was those were the dark matches on the card that night. Tony, back to you.
So, and yeah, this Raw in particular is the night after the pay-per-view. So that's what makes this week even weirder. It's usually Raw taped, Nitro live. Raw's actually live for this episode, but Nitro's taped, which is it's a weird feeling. So the April's In Your House pay-per-view was the night before. Shawn Michaels wrestled Diesel. That would be Diesel's final appearance in the WWF till 2002, and same with Razor Ramon. They're now in negotiations with WCW, and they'll be showing up there pretty soon.
The curtain call happens, or just happened then.
So what I think, I got to see the curtain call date because I know that happened at a Madison Square Garden house show.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I'll look it up. I got it, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're just keeping them off TV right now for another week or two till they know for sure they're going to Nitro.
Okay.
But they definitely know they're in negotiations, and Vince doesn't want to present them.
But
So-
May of '96.
Yeah, so it's coming up here in the next couple. Maybe this next Sunday or something.
Okay.
And they also built like the strapping of Stone Cold into a strap match the following Raw.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we actually go over that tonight. So that's awesome. That's it probably happens in between these two episodes then.
Mm-hmm.
No,
So-
it's on the 29th. Austin got strapped.
Yep.
He's like, okay, well, now we need to have a strap match on the following Raw and just draw everybody in.
Yeah.
King of the Ring fucking winner.
Yeah. We're about a month away from the tournament too. I'm so excited for that. I'm gonna watch it. So all right, so they need to get some fresh booty for Michaels because he obviously can't continue this feud with Diesel if Kevin Nash is going to WCW. So during the pay-per-view, Diana Smith, the British Bulldog's wife, is sitting in the audience and
She wants a title
claims-
shot.
Yeah.
sorry.
I want me bloody title shot.
She totally does. She's claiming she received a letter from Shawn Michaels to meet her in the back, and she went back there, and Shawn Michaels cornered her in a dark room and sexually pressured her. So
Sexually pressured.
yes. So
That's a
British,
2020 term.
He pulled a Ric Flair on that
Yeah.
stewardess. That's the same situation.
Yep.
yeah, the helicopter.
Except there was no helicopter. He had a tiny propeller.
What's the pitch on that thing? It's very slight.
So
That's a
British
propeller
Bulldog.
joke.
He finds out
Harvey
about
Weinstein and Bill Cosby never assaulted anybody that sexually pressured them.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Probably were
something
alcohol.
tells me Ashley Judd wasn't pressured, but we'll just go with that for the mainstream media. So
Yeah.
British Bulldog finds out about this at the pay-per-view and starts screaming in some fucking foreign language. I couldn't understand him.
Cockney?
Yeah.
British, Welsh.
Well, it was probably he runs like a Welshman.
So Raw starts off with Mankind, which, damn, he must have wrestled back-to-back matches, including the dark match. Because
Yeah.
Raw starts with Mankind, and he this is his third match now, fourth match, and he defeats
Third or
Bart
fourth.
Gunn. Yeah, he defeats him. He comes out to the scary music, drives his fingers down Bart Gunn's throat, fucking wins the match, and they play the happy music. After that, Jim Ross is backstage and tries to interview Bart Gunn and ask what it's like to be in the ring with Mankind. And as Gunn tries to answer, Mankind fucking rushes him and kicks Bart Gunn's ass backstage. And he continues to build up this vicious streak, this unpredictable streak. Everyone's kind of tripping on Mankind at this point in time. They hadn't really seen much like that.
Right.
And yeah, he's almost like the antithesis to the Undertaker right now, or the answer to the Undertaker. So
yeah,
it's real interesting, a real interesting start to Raw. Over on Nitro, they open the show with the tag titles on the line. Lex Luger and Sting successfully defend against Harlem Heat when Jimmy Hart, he attempts to distract the challengers. Booker T catches him, but it distracts him in another way now. Jimmy Hart basically threw a chloroform rag into the ring, and he was throwing it to Luger. Booker T caught it, looks at Jimmy Hart like, hey, I'm too smart for you, but because he's distracted there, Sting rolls him up and they win the match. So a good start to both, I would say, because you got a title match on one and then you get a little bit of Mankind on the other. So Nitro then goes into another tag match. Okay, if you guys remember, who were they pushing? The Road Warriors a couple weeks ago. It was like their debut match, and then they booked them to lose, clean on TV. Well, same thing here. They're hyping up the new team of Fire and Ice, which is Scott Norton and Ice Train. They're talking about what a badass tag team they are. Everyone better look out for them. And then they jobbed them out to the Steiner.
Fucking motherfucking
weird looking.
Scott Norton was like the man in fucking Japan. He worked strong style. Like the dude was and they're like, you're gonna be a jobber. We're gonna make you lose to Ernest Miller, Screaming Norman Smiley. Dude, he could legit just snap people in two and
yeah, dude was a wall.
And him and Ice Train together, and Ice Train when this match, and because it was a decent match at first, Ice Train and Norton got some good shine, and then Steiner starts, the Steiners are kind of ragged on them a little bit, doing the suplexes and everything, but what really got me was the finish of the match. Do you mind, Tony, if I kind of go into this one? No, it was a hoss fight, and these matches can be good because the Steiners are more agile than these two. But Ice Train and Norton could move, and they could the suplexes went over good. They look good because Ice Train and Norton are so fucking powerful that they can make those moves look better because a lot of that's pushing off. So but the finish was so weak. Ice Train went down to a fucking clothesline. It wasn't even anything
Steiner line. Yeah.
But it was a one-man Steiner line. It wasn't even a double team. It was it
was like Seth Rollins' shield bomb at the Royal Rumble. It's that's just a power bomb.
Yeah, fuck Seth Rollins, that piece of shit. But anyway, Rick goes over on Ice Train in this with a clothesline, and 1, 2, 3. And there's your fucking debut to Fire and Ice. It was
American males out there. We're saying if you want to make the Steiners look strong, but don't hype up this brand new tag team and then feed them to the Steiners right away and then wonder why they can't get over.
Right.
Yep.
Scott Norton should have got over way before that and way after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love Scott Norton, and
same.
Fucking Tony can attest to this because we used to play was it WCW versus fucking Nitro or the fuck?
Yeah, Revenge.
Yeah, something like that. And I would always pick Scott Norton, and he just hold the D button, and he would just swing a knockout punch. And I just mollywop motherfuckers every day with that shit. But it was Scott Norton. That's what he would do in real life.
Yep.
And he had a lot of potential. They just didn't cultivate it into something. They could have pushed him in a direction, but no, it was just he's just another bruiser for the NWO, and it's kind of sad.
He could have been a stud in the NWO if they used him right. I mean, dude, they had like I said, he was huge in Japan. He IWGP World Champion. And they just treated him like he was some average basic bitch Rick Fuller ass jobber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. He's the one too that they brought over to North Korea because of that. Because they know he was good with the Asian crowds and all that crazy shit that happened over there. But yeah, man, they wasted him. They really freaking did. That guy, he was entertaining to watch.
But we have Glacier coming.
Wait, and that's what he's
hyping him.
Oh, well, we have Buff Bagwell and his mom fucking showing up at the ringside, and fuck Scott Norton, an accomplished dude.
There's nothing better than Judy Bagwell on a forklift, or Judy Bagwell and Rick Steiner as the WCW Tag Team Champions at one point.
What?
Wow.
But no, after this match, you got the Flair Woman and Elizabeth promo, which was leading into the main, Tony. And then you got the Glacier teaser, the the blood runs cold.
Yeah.
Which, dude, when I remember, okay, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was
hyped for Glacier.
I just turned, and this was funny because I was telling Tony, I had just turned 16 years old at this point. Like my 16th birthday was like April 19th, 96, and I had the Nitro before because like me and my buddy, so like I was driving to my buddy's house now. I was like, I can drive over and watch it to your house now. So I drove over, we were watching Nitro together, and we were both like, cause we both were playing Mortal Kombat, and it's like as soon as we saw it, it was like, dude, that looks like Mortal Kombat shit. Like who, like what, like what the hell are they? And man, when it was like that meme, it's like, at least you tried, But Glacier is a much better worker than the gimmick that he got.
Yeah.
That gimmick was horrendous.
It was, he had a decent little program with Mortis, was a Canyon and shit.
Make-A-Wish.com version.
You have to forgive me. Wasn't Glacier?
He's in AEW right now, or he's signed to AEW.
Wasn't that Lance Storm, or who the fuck was it?
No. Glacier
but
is
they
Ray.
looked similar.
They did. Glacier is Ray something.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, they looked a lot like oh, they're just trying a new fucking gimmick on fucking Lance Storm.
It's Raymond Lloyd is his name.
Lance Storm.
That guy was much larger than Lance Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Storm's short.
Wait,
my apologies. I'm old.
Did you say that they signed him on AEW?
Yeah, he came in on one of their rumbles.
Oh,
He's
just
like
a
50 something.
Yeah, man, he's close to 60.
Yeah.
Why would they sign him?
They've got Billy Gunn over there.
Yeah, they don't like use him on like a normal capacity. They use him as like filler when they need him. Yeah. Or like
I'm a wrinkled ass man.
Wow.
So while this is
elite man.
While this is going on Nitro, we've got Stone Cold Steve Austin on Raw. He defeats Scott Taylor with the $1 Million Dream. Savio Vega's on commentary during the match, and he basically tells everyone he's going to challenge Steve Austin to a Caribbean strap match. And if Austin says no, he's going to get in the ring and just whoop Austin with this. He's got the little strap with him. He's like, I'm just going to whoop him with this. So, and this is when Lawler calls him burrito breath, by the way.
And he did.
Yeah. After the match, he challenges Austin. Steve Austin, Ted DiBiase kind of look at each other, and DiBiase declines. And they go to get out of the ring. DiBiase slides out, and before Austin can get out, Savio Vega starts whooping him right across the back with the Caribbean strap. So this they're basically setting up this match here at the Maze in Your House pay-per-view. It gets confusing because they're all in your house,
Fun fact about Austin's opponent, jobber Scott Taylor, that would go on to be Scotty Too Hottie.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
He just needs to meet Lawler's gay boy.
Brian, he's dead.
I know.
Who is?
That's insane. Yeah, Brian Christopher Lawler, Jerry Lawler's son.
Yeah, he passed a few years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was quite a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it's been a while. He died young.
Yeah, very.
So Vince is in the ring with British Bulldog Jim Cornette and Diane Hart-Smith. And McMahon brings out Shawn Michaels to address the atrocious rumors that Shawn is fucking Davey's wife. Cornette claims that Michaels sent the note out to meet him in the back. HBK tried to corner her, and Cornette asks what kind of perverted sexual deviant would go after another man's wife. Jim Cornette tells Shawn to look into the eyes of the woman that he tried to sully and deflower. So Diana tells Shawn
she wasn't deflowered yet. What?
That's
was
what
Davey
I'm
Boy
saying.
Smith doing?
I want me title shot. I'm not worried about pussy.
He's in bed talking to her about how he's going to be champion one day. And
Oh,
so-
get me
We don't
title
have
shot,
time
then
to
you'll
fuck.
get you.
But
Yeah.
it was,
We don't have time to fuck.
translated,
You gotta get me title shot.
it was translated to a different garden, and now I'm going to take it.
Super fan. It was Cornet the entire time.
So Cornette gives Diana the chance to speak, and she goes full AOC and says she knows that Sean wants her. And Sean looks her in the eye. He's like, with all due respect, no thank you. And
Yeah, doesn't he tell her don't flatter yourself?
yeah,
He said, "Don't flatter yourself."
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
That's what pissed her off.
Yeah, so she slaps him. And then Sean insults Bulldog by saying, well, I guess now we know who wears the pants in the family. In the
But
Smith
she was
family.
literally wearing the pants at that moment. It was fucking great. She had a pantsuit on like Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
And he was wearing the trunks. He had his Spanx on.
Yes. She looks like a nugget. So
I would have smashed.
yeah. They brawl into the break. You know, and that's you said we're at the main event on Nitro.
No, sir. We have a parking lot brawl.
Oh yeah, well first we have Mean Gene on the entrance ramp.
Yep.
He's interviewing Ric Flair.
Yep.
And of course Flair's with Woman and the former Mrs. Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth. And he's okay, so Flair is gonna defend his title against the Giant later tonight. They set that up last week, and Mean Gene asks Flair if he's worried, and he's like, do I look worried? And Woman's just stroking Mean Gene's face and being all hot and not dead, and
right?
She's like, no, Flair, we ain't worried at all. You know, they were just completely confident. No. Flair has Gene look upon the former Mrs. Savage, who's now in love with the Nature Boy. He's like, ask Miss Elizabeth if we're afraid of a real life, walking, talking, fire breathing giant. And he's not. He's, some might say, overconfident. So, not the best Flair promo, but it worked. You know,
he was
okay.
very reserved during that promo.
Yeah, he had the girls do a lot of the talking for him.
Yeah, the whole thing was basically, hey, we're spending Randy Savage's money.
Yeah. So, do you want to go over the parking lot brawl, Etep?
Yeah, I can do that. So you've got the Belfast Brawler, aka Fit Finley, versus Lord Steven Regal in a parking lot brawl. And honestly, if you're any kind of fan of wrestling, this is a great fucking pairing right here. Because, first of all, Steven Regal was one of the most underrated talents in the history of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Dude was like, he could get the best out of anybody, or he can make you look really bad because he's that good, like he did to Goldberg. But you've then on the other side, you've got Dave Finley, who has, I mean, dude's proven himself. I mean, he's one of the toughest SOBs to ever lace up the boots. And these two have a Donnybrook in the parking lot. And I mean, they're putting each other on the hood of cars. The match, pile drivers on the card, busted glass. The match ends with Regal.
Quick, keep in mind too that Regal and Finley are forced to be tag partners at Slamboree as well.
Yeah, the next week.
Yeah.
And Regal pins Finley on the roof of like a Yugo after he fucking pile drives him right on it. And Finley's pissed afterwards. He busts the window out, and Bobby Heenan screaming, "That's my rental car!"
Yeah.
That was great.
Heenan
was just like a chef's kiss, man. Is that swarmy heel commentator? He was so good.
Yeah,
he really was.
Don't forget that before he pinned him, he pile drived him once, and then he did a low blow and then pile drived him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 pile drivers at the finish.
Yeah, really, really nice, pre-hardcore era match.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So, over on see, this is why I don't understand why Raw won. Over on Raw, we get the New Rockers versus the Godwins, who wrestle to a double countout.
That was a boring fucking match, bro.
And,
The
and
best
then
thing
you've
about
got
that.
a parking lot brawl on the other channel.
Yep.
Like, what's going on?
You know what drew ratings this segment?
Sunny.
Because her fine ass came down to the ring, looking all hot, distracting fucking Phineas, and that's why that segment went over. I was watching WCW right during this. I wasn't even watching. I mean, I was taping Raw at home, and now I was driving to my buddy's house and watching WCW.
Yeah.
But
we're gonna get to the real reason why Raw won the night.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming. Jim Ross is backstage. I believe this is probably the promo he cut before the Undertaker Dark match, and then they placed it here, Etep.
Yeah.
But Jim Ross is backstage to interview Mankind, Jim Ross asks him why he chose the Mandible Claw as a finisher, and Mankind goes into the whole, there are so many pressure points and nerve areas on the body, and there's one underneath the eye that he just couldn't get to. But underneath the tongue, you apply some pressure, you drive your fingers in, and the person will become temporarily paralyzed. And he's surprised how easy it was to finger the Undertaker.
That just sounds so wrong. Just on a side note, wasn't it a dentist that actually came up with that?
I'm surprised how easy it is to finger the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
Who's Dennis? Who, Tommy?
No, I'm saying, wasn't it a dentist that came up with that?
Oh, a dentist. I was like, who's Dennis? I don't know.
I can't remember.
I always thought it was.
I know Britt Baker uses it now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Britt Baker for a few things.
Oh yeah.
She's a dentist too. Huh.
Yeah, a real life dentist.
Yeah.
Good.
She owns her own practice. So Mankind basically says the Ghoul needs to come out and play because, quite frankly, Bobby, the only interaction, Mankind is new. The only interaction he's had with The Undertaker is he beat the hell out of him at the end of the Raw a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, beat The Undertaker down. So he basically says he's heard the hype about the dead man, but he's getting bored.
I found it, Tony.
Dr. Samuel Shepard.
Yep, Samuel Shepard, a physician who was wrongfully convicted of his wife's murder in 1954.
Jesus.
Yep.
Oh, is that where they're all stemmed from?
He wrestled. The guy was a wrestler too.
Damn.
The move's invention is credited to Dr. Samuel Shepard, who used his background in neurosurgery as inspiration. Shepard's wrestling career was brief, wrestling only 40 matches between his debut in '69 and death in '70.
So Benoit's a copycat then?
Yes.
Yeah,
Benoit's the copycat killer on Criminal Minds.
Benoit's a copycat killer.
Unbelievable.
Benoit's performance came up short.
Damn.
So here's the reason why Raw won the night. Here's the reason why Raw got such a massive lead over Nitro. The main event in his first Raw match ever, the Ultimate Warrior defeats Isaac Yankim, another dentist, in a squash match that lasted. Draven, how long was this? A minute?
Something like it.
It wasn't 90 seconds, was it?
I don't think so.
I mean,
forgive me for being a simp, but isn't that Kane?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So his first match on Raw was against Kane. Yeah, he squashed him. It was like Isaac Yankim was a jobber.
Oh, so. Okay. All right. So this match, the beginning of this, because Isaac comes out first, or is my favorite, Kane, the big red retard. He comes out first, and he's in the ring. I like Kane. I'm just
Okay.
fucking around because
All
I
right.
can't remember who. I think Lawler called him the big red retard once, or Austin did. I don't know. One of them did, but I
think
always thought
Austin
that was
did.
fucking.
Probably.
I think it was just funny. I had the big red retard. I'm like, that's fucking right.
No, Kane's the big red retard. It is classic.
That
Just
is-
like
that-
fucking Sheamus's big jar of mayonnaise. It's all good.
Yep. But so Ultimate Warrior makes his entrance. He runs down to the fucking ring like the spazzed out cocaine steroid freak he was. And then I think he was like, oh shit, my heart's gonna blow up. He runs backstage and then comes out again. No, I'm good. They hit me with the paddles and gave me some nitro pills. We're good. I can go in and fucking squash this dude now. I was like, that was the stupidest fucking thing. I'm like, I know it's his first Raw match, but I'm just like, this is why this dude's matches were like a minute long, because he'd get blown up from his entrance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't just the running out to the ring, and then he had to sit there and like, jostle the ropes for a good like minute and a half.
Yep.
As a kid, I really liked Ultimate Warrior.
I was so mad when he went over on Hogan at Mania 6. I was so fucking mad.
Hey, you gotta jostle the ropes to work out the coke jitters, okay?
The whole time when he was shaking those ropes, he was grinding his teeth, going, "I need a fucking cigarette and a beer."
Yeah.
Is it any wonder why he gave such piss poor interviews at the end of it? He'd already used all his brain cells up running out to the ring.
He's
I need a strap to balance out. I'm about like 30 seconds from fucking heart failure.
That guy was constantly oxygen deprived. The brain couldn't survive.
Was he just
Tony
was he eating steroids and shooting them up his ass like 24/7?
Oh, yeah.
Like for this guy's
He was
heart
on-
to explode like that.
Yeah, but
Every
that's the funny thing,
PED.
Vinny. At this point, he's not even as big as he was at one point.
Yeah.
You should have seen him when he was in the Blade Runners with freaking Sting. Holy
Oh no,
shit,
no, I
they were
have.
huge.
I remember how big he was. Because the thing is, with that stuff, it actually over time the abuse it destroys the body, and you become
Yeah,
emaciated.
it starts eating the muscles and shit.
Yeah, and that's what that's what he was doing, man. It's
Lex
fucked up.
Luger.
Oh,
Yeah.
him and his
Luger's
look at
probably
Luger and
example,
his
yeah.
stupid face now. How's
It
your
looks like a
stupid?
pop figure.
How's your
And all the
stupid?
coke.
Warrior's probably
This is-
like snorting the alcohol and fucking shooting up the cocaine.
This is Lex Luger now. He's an old black woman with a big head and a small body.
Oh, I thought that
Yeah.
was what's his face. What's that singer's name? Never mind.
The
So-
Weekend?
No, the little guy.
I thought
forgot his name.
that was a figure of Common.
Oi, it's Wheezy.
I can't remember his name. Oh, Bruno Mars. I thought it was actual Bruno Mars, life size.
Uptown Funk gonna give it to you.
Right?
I'm gonna give it to you.
Hey,
Maybe Michael
Tony.
Jackson.
So, Tony, what made you think that Raw took the night over Nitro that night?
Because the Ultimate Warrior's debut. I think that's what made everyone tune in, because they knew Hogan was gone from Nitro. They just announced that the week before. And then you've got Ultimate Warrior, who he wrestled at WrestleMania 12. He squashed Triple H. And then he had another match at the April's in Your House. So this is basically his third appearance since coming back to the WWF. And he's on free TV. I think that popped their rating, because they were hyping Ultimate Warrior was going to be on for like a week or two. So, definitely. That was his, that drew the crowd in. I think.
Yeah, but I look at it like it's messed up, because you had that running opposite, the Giant and Flair, which to me is a much more attractive for the World Heavyweight title, which is a much more attractive match. Like, especially not ever being much of an Ultimate Warrior fan. I wasn't, I wasn't leaving this one. Flair and the Giant for the strap.
When Flair's making his way down to the ring, he actually stops and flirts with Deborah McMichael, which I believe it's the first time they've shown her on WCW TV. This might be a
No, they
wrestling
did a couple
debut.
times before.
Yeah,
Did they?
and earlier in
she
the
was-
night, during the
Yeah.
promo, Flair sent her a glass of champagne and she dumped it out through the glass.
That's next
Mm-hmm.
week.
Was it next week?
Yeah. This week, it starts off, he's flirting with Deborah McMichael, and it sets Mongo off on commentary. He's just...
I think it was last week, too, that he also did something. Mongo was like, if you cross this, you know,
yeah,
if you get any further, you know, I'm going to have to come down there, you know, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're just escalating it more now.
But see, Giant and Flair wrestled for the title a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't a 90-minute wrestling clinic, but it was exciting, and it ended with Flair on his back, even though he won the match, or it ended in DQ, whatever. Giant choke slammed Flair, and then they had some drama last week where he accidentally threw coffee in the Giant's face. So, you know, Giant's not happy. And what's kind of funny is they saw the Ultimate Warrior was the main event on Raw, so this was a 5-minute match, and it was 5 times longer than Warrior's match. You know, they didn't even have to go that hard. Mm-hmm. Do you want to explain what happens, Etep?
What, in the Giant match?
Yeah, like who wins and how they win, and
I honestly can't remember this one. I didn't write it. All I wrote down was Giant win over. What I wrote down the finish. I can't remember. I didn't write down
Flair
the time.
Had Giant in the figure 4. Flair had Giant in the figure 4.
Where does Mongo McMichael fit into all this shit?
He's just on commentary right now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Tony.
But no, it's fine. He's going to end up becoming a wrestler eventually. But right now, he just came over from the NFL or whatever. He quit playing a few years ago, and I don't know how he ended up being a commentator for WCW. But that, you know, right now the commentators are Bischoff, Mongo McMichael, and Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, but no, you said in this period that like his wife got involved in it. Was he already going to be signed up for a contract? He was just training or schooling up.
Well, so they're building up a storyline, and they just had Deborah McMichael. She just happened to be sitting ringside, and Flair's kind of prancing around with Miss Elizabeth right now, calling her the former Miss Randy Savage, you know, so he's got woman on the other arm. So he's just kind of in this, you know, playboy mode, I guess. So Mongo is kind of the babyface commentator. He's always, you know, shaming the heels. So I guess it kind of stems from that. And Flair's like, well, if you want to talk shit about me on commentary, I'll hit on your wife.
So you think that was why they tried to put him in? I mean, he ended up part of the NWO as well. I mean, he's part of the Four Horsemen, or the new Four Horsemen at one point.
Yeah. I think this might be his way of, you know, introducing him, I guess.
That sounds like classic Ted Turner.
Sleep with his wife.
I'm Ted Turner, and I was.
And you, Mr. Ric Flair, you talk shit about his wife. You talk about how I bang that shit. And I'm Ted Turner. Woo! TNT, son.
I was married to Hanoi Jane. I own the Atlanta Braves.
Who's that? If who that said that shit, that was fucking hilarious.
I'm Ted Turner, and I colorize the moon.
Yeah, absolutely right, Glenzer. That's exactly why I called him that.
Yeah. Let me see here. I heard Vince named Paul White the Big Show as a shot at Turner. And okay, so they just got done doing the Billionaire Ted skits on WWF, those classic ones, and they did have one, Bobby, where they went through actual Ted Turner quotes, and I mean some were pretty bad. Like if it was in this day and age, the Twitter mob would be all in a flurry hearing that shit. Like Ted Turner, he's had some quotes in his day. So back to this match. Yeah, Flair puts Giant into the figure 4, and Giant basically powers out of it. He sits up, puts his hand around Flair's throat like he's going to choke slam him. He stands him up from the figure four. And I mean, he just drives Flair right into the mat at around 5 minutes into the match, and pins him and becomes the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. And when he's in the ring with the title, they announce him as the champion. Mean Gene comes to interview him, and Giant's like, as far as I'm concerned, this has been my belt since Halloween Havoc. He calls out Hogan. He calls out Sting. He calls out Savage or anyone else that wants some. He's going to be a fighting champion. And as they're starting to go off the air, Eric Bischoff announces that at Slamboree, the Giant will defend his title against Sting, which this was a far superior ending to the night, in my opinion.
Yep.
Just very, very exciting, very well done.
Yeah, this was way better than the end of Nitro or Raw.
Yeah, Raw was just vintage Warrior.
Yeah, it's just Ultimate Warrior's gonna run around like the fucking big ass retard steroid retard he is. That's what you got out of him. He's got 4 or 5 moves in his repertoire. I mean, that's it. That's it. I like when he wrestled Rick Rude. Rick Rude kind of exposed him. Rick Rude had to carry him.
Yeah,
but no, Nitro was better. I'd say honestly, top to bottom, but Raw somehow got more ratings. Like you said, it was hype for the Warrior. People wanted to see what the hell. You probably brought some fans back who might have left because WWF had from 91 to 95 was into 96 was still kind of rough.
Yeah. And Glenzer, as far as your comment here, if Disney buys WWE, the action figures of Sheamus and Becky Lynch will be black. Just want to say, I've got a little fan theory. I think Zendaya is Miles Morales. So,
well, I think a lot of people are blowing up this deal a lot worse than what it really is, because really what it all boils down to is they did this deal so they can get into markets that are outside the normal scope of the companies that they're dealing with now, which is Peacock, USA, and the Fox, which obviously it was already said earlier, Disney had acquired Fox, so that's all under their umbrella as well. But this is actually for WWE to get their programming into Indonesia. That's all this really is in the end.
It's always been a rumor, too, that when Vince does hang it up, which his mom passed away last month too, I think January 20th, so rest in peace to her. That was always a neat little trivia fact that his mom was still alive. But it's always been rumored that when Vince hangs it up, he might sell to Disney, which I think would be a mistake. But leaving it, I'm not impressed with Shane, Stephanie, or Triple H, to be honest.
No.
But yeah, so I think that might be why it's being projected into something bigger than it actually is, because they've always talked about he'll probably sell to Disney when he's done.
But if they aren't controlling the talent now, and that Vince is just there, kind of helping, train them or teach them how to manage talent?
Well, he's doing a piss poor job of that.
Well, did you guys also know that Vince had a deal with Netflix?
No.
Obviously, they produced some kind of interactive horror project. I think that was the Undertaker one that they put out a year or so ago. But they also apparently have an upcoming series about Vince McMahon himself that Netflix is working on.
I thought the horror story was Pat Patterson, his life story. It's called A Dark Alley Somewhere.
I think they made a movie with a kid who put on tights or something and becomes a full-grown wrestler or something, and The Miz was in it. And so I think I did see something as far as pertaining to WWE on Netflix before, but I didn't know it was a full-blown deal. I'd watch something on Vince McMahon. I would. I always
they also have a deal with Hulu as well. I don't know if if you were aware of that. That they're eventually going to start doing old replays of some of the old Raws and SmackDowns.
That's cool.
Oh, because there's a bunch of the SmackDowns and Raws from like
That's where they need to make money now.
the Spike TV. Spike TV had Raw for a couple of years at least, didn't they?
Yep.
Are those on the net? Are those on Peacock?
I thought they were at one point. I mean, I just let it go. Once
a lot of
once
stuff is
network
on
went over to
Peacock,
Peacock, I dropped it.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they
think
had
the
like all
whole
those.
story they need to do, or what they need to do, is like highlight like the women's wrestlers. Just like I stepped away from wrestling for a few years and I came back to it, and then you got Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks doing a magnificent Hell in a fucking Cell match, like far outperforming the fucking dudes as far as bumps and fucking spots and all that shit. And they just don't key in on that shit. Like, hey, you want to grow your fucking consumer populace. Hey, focus on the fucking females, because they're down to do that shit too.
Well,
The TLC between Charlotte, Becky, and what's the Asian chick? I don't remember her fucking name.
Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka, whatever the fuck, there's all the fucking makeup. But
They
nonetheless,
ruined her.
but
Yeah, Asuka was awesome, and then
They had-
they didn't
they
use
had-
her.
Ruined her.
they had spots on there you would never see the dudes do.
To be fair
The
to
Hardy
they
Boys.
emasculate the guys. Like they really do. And that's it's an issue in Hollywood too, but it's like they really emasculate the guys. They tried to emasculate Dusty Rhodes on his last appearance on Raw. But then, it's always like and nothing against the girls, because there are some fantastic female wrestlers. AEW has quite a few too,
But Dusty Rhodes' character was
the girls have the wind at their sails.
feminine dude.
Like the girls kind of have the wind at their sails compared to the guys who, Triple H himself, he's notorious, even retired, of protecting his legacy, and I feel he holds a lot of these people back because he wants to be observed as one of the greatest.
Who's that?
Yep.
That holds it back?
Triple H.
Who?
And
Triple
he
H.
is. I mean,
Oh, Triple H. Oh, yeah.
for
He's been doing that for
over 2 decades. Like, what, we're going on 3 now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're one of the greats, dude. Like, got it, cool. But like, step away when the getting's good, dude.
Yeah.
Like, step back,
don't pull the ladder up.
But like even now retired, he'll still sabotage the business to protect his own personal legacy. And I kind of think that's part of what we're seeing with the guys right now.
Oh yeah, because he didn't just pull a ladder up. He's burning the house down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But females, he doesn't have to worry about so much. They can push them to the moon because it's a different category, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder about that. I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced it's all Paul's doing. I really do think he's taking his marching orders from Stephanie, and she's telling him to do this shit.
Probably.
It's a little bit of both, because she plays up on. She knows how insecure he is, and and he'll bend over for his wife. We know that.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been more well put. That he's bending over for Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the dick.
Mm-hmm.
She talks to him in Vince's voice, and she's like, "Bend over, Hunter. It's time for the genetic jackhammer."
Come, I got your Levesque for you.
and Hunter's like, "Please no, Steph," and she's like, "Take it. You want to go over on Scott Steiner, don't you?"
And he just thinks to himself, all the power and money and notoriety will be mine one day, not knowing Vince is going to sell to Disney. So he does take it.
You know, I wonder if at some point he doesn't wind up breaking the company up into smaller parts and selling a little bit to all these different corporations who have a stake in it.
I don't know.
That would be interesting because he unified the wrestling business. So, like, to go out fragmenting it again, that would be interesting.
It'd be pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
I bet when Stephanie penetrates him at night, he yells out Levesque.
probably.
No, he yells out, "Blue blood! Blue blood!"
He's really
Terrorizing! Terrorizing!
Terrorizing. Oh, that was so horrible.
I wonder if she tags in Shane.
Shane walks in the bedroom doing his little dance. Here comes the money.
Here comes
Shane
the money.
shuffles around. Shane shuffles around.
He jumps off the credenza.
Here comes the money, and Stephanie straight pegs his ass.
off the nightstand with a garbage can right into Hunter's ass.
Oh my god. While McMahon is filming it. I'm beating
So
off in the
plausible.
They have a bookcase and Stephanie jumps up on top of it.
Yeah.
And Shane positions the fucking, like, the Mando dildo.
Vince paid Michael Cole to sit there at a commentator's booth to say vintage Vince McMahon while Vince jerks off in the corner.
We'll have a McMahon in every corner of the bed.
4 corners. Linda's in a coma for real this time.
Jesus.
I just gave her another Valium.
Yeah. I guess we can say the future definitely looks bright for WWE. Yes. Let's jump into this second week here before I get too turned on.
When you're going to be slipping into the second week at this point.
Yeah, let's slide into that second week here.
We got
May
enough room.
6, 1996. Raw's your weekly winner again. They're emanating again from Sioux City, Iowa. This time not live. Rating 4.1, a monster 4.1. They had a 2.8 the week before, and the reason why is because this week Nitro isn't pre-recorded, but they are preempted, so they showed it 7 p.m. instead of 9 p.m., which means a lot of wrestling fans forgot. They tuned in at 9. Basketball was on TNT, so they went over to Raw. And 4.1 compared to Nitro, who got... Does anyone want to try to guess Nitro's rating this week? Last week, they had a 2.3. They were on at their normal time, but pre-recorded. This week, they're live, but 2 hours earlier. So a 2.3 last week. What do you guys think they pulled?
1.3?
I'll go 1.7.
Draven?
Probably like 2.
Okay.
1.5.
Raw pulled a 4.1. Nitro pulled a 1.9.
Oh, that was close.
Oh, yeah.
That's
was
got to
very
be, yeah, that's got to be the biggest discrepancy between these two. And granted, Nitro was on 2 hours earlier. A lot of people probably forgot and tuned in at 9 like shit.
Yep.
Yeah. The night begins over on WCW with Hugh Morris defeating the Macho Man Randy Savage via DQ when Randy Savage hangs Hugh Morris over the top rope with his jacket.
Well, Hugh put it on, to be fair, so Macho Man was like, "You're gonna stretch out my jacket, ooh yeah!"
Yeah, and he's going nuts lately because of Ric Flair and Miss Elizabeth spending his money and flashing it everywhere, even though they're divorced already. I don't know how that works, but yeah, he's been.
I wish he flashed more often.
What's that?
Right.
What was?
I said I wish he had flashed more often.
Yeah.
Yes.
So lately he's been getting carried or escorted out of the arena in handcuffs, and tonight's no different. He hangs Hugh Morris over the top rope. The ref calls for the bell. And then they ring the bell incessantly for about 2 minutes as Macho Man delivers a top rope elbow. Doug Dillinger and WCW security come out and they escort Macho Man out of there again.
He knocked a ref out. He knocked Nick Patrick out. Elbow
Yeah.
dropped him.
Yeah. Now, this is the weird part. So Raw begins with, and Nitro has this match first before they mention it, but Raw begins with a message that Ray the Crippler Stevens passed away. And over on WCW, they felt the need to, show Hugh Morris hanging over the top rope. We're talking about kind of a legend passing away. It was a little weird, but
they mentioned the Ray the Crippler Stevens thing later on in the broadcast on Nitro. I forgot there's dark matches on this Nitro too.
Oh yeah, what's up with the dark matches?
We have a trifecta. We have the Steiner brothers defeating the Public Enemy in dark match number 1. Dark match number 2, the Harlem Heat go over on the Nasty Boys. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that was a double DQ. And then in a freaking dark match that is a treat, I'm sure, Eddie Guerrero defeated Chris Benoit. And what I'm sure was a freaking phenomenal match.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are your dark matches from the
every
Ocean.
other week.
Right? Then dude, those matches were fucking phenomenal. Yeah. This is from the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach.
Yeah. So, yeah, we get Hugh Morris and Randy Savage over there. Then we get the R.I.P. Ray Stevens. Over on Raw, we get the R.I.P. Ray Stevens. Then we go into almost like a anonymous 60-minute style interview, like a blackened out ex-wife of a professional wrestler announces to the world that Shawn Michaels is a home wrecker and ruined her marriage. So we're going to hear from her tonight. She basically saw what happened with Diana Hart-Smith, and now she needs to come out and let her truth be told. So Triple H is on commentary for the first match of the evening. Wildman Mark Merrow is going to be his opponent at Maze in Your House, and he defeats the 1-2-3 Kid in a rematch from a few weeks ago, I believe, on WWF Superstars. Helmsley tries interfering to cost Merrow the match. 1-2-3 Kid goes to suplex him, and Mark Merrow reverses the suplex, catches the 1-2-3, and Helmsley isn't happy. He's not, with that. So, a little hype for May's pay-per-view on the undercard. Over on Nitro now, Dean Malenko goes against Jushin Thunder Liger. Yeah, wonderful match. And he defeats Jushin Thunder Liger via Tiger Driver during the match. When Dean Malenko and Liger are making their way down. It's such weird booking. Bischoff announces that Otani was crowned the first ever WCW Cruiserweight Champion in Japan. He'll defend the title at Slamboree. And they've been making a big deal out of the Cruiserweight title. But you can actually see him win the Cruiserweight title. It's May 6th now. May 18th on WCW Worldwide, which was like their Shotgun Saturday night. It was like preempted on UPN or something. Okay.
Yeah. I never knew where to watch Worldwide.
Yeah.
I could never find it.
It was on at midnights on Sunday on one of the locally owned channels in your town. It's real weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's going to defend at Slamboree, but if you'd like to see the first ever WCW champion crowned, it's going to be on Worldwide. Check your local listings. Mean Gene interviews Ric Flair and the ladies. And Flair says basically he's going to eliminate. Okay, so Flair and Randy Savage are having to team together at Slamboree to go against Arn Anderson, Eddie Guerrero. Flair says he'll eliminate Randy Savage and that Arn Anderson had better make the right decision and not to cross Flair. I think he mentions Eddie Guerrero like once in this promo, but I feel like Guerrero could have gotten a lot more exposure from this, but he's they're treating him like an afterthought. So yeah, talk some shit about the pay-per-view, and then he brings up Deborah McMichael again and asks her if she wants some champagne, hands her a little flute, whatever it is, of champagne. I don't drink. Yeah.
It's a flute.
Yeah. And Deborah McMichael pours it on the floor. She rejects it. Miss Elizabeth says not to worry about the champagne as Randy Savage has plenty of money to buy more. So
that bitch spending another man's money.
I know. After they're divorced. So we get a hype package of Savio Vega and Steve Austin, and even though DiBiase and Austin refused the Caribbean strap match at first, during WWF Superstars, Ted DiBiase basically added a stipulation to the match. He's like, all right, we'll wrestle you. We'll have Austin wrestle you, but if Savio Vega loses, he's got to be DiBiase's chauffeur. So, looks like that's a go-ahead at the pay-per-view. And then we go over to the expose of the anonymous woman who's accusing Shawn Michaels of ruining her marriage. And while this woman's husband wrestler was on the road, Shawn Michaels came over to her house to woo her and charm her with his ways. He knew she couldn't resist him. He was the best sex she ever had. Next thing she knew, Shawn and her hubby were in the ring together. Her husband knew what had happened and couldn't concentrate and ended up losing his match. Awful. Can you guys believe that? He lost his match over this.
Awful.
I can't. I for one am shocked and appalled.
Yeah.
That he was married to a fucking ring rat.
How do you do, fellow adulterers?
Let's be honest though. That is the norm more than it is the exception in that business. I
Based
mean,
on a true story. Yeah.
Look at Deborah. All right, started with Mongo, went to Jarrett, then to Austin, then got beat, and then just left everybody.
Sonny. She's fucking Shawn Michaels right now, and she's married.
And Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And Chris Candido.
And she talks about, you can go look it up, she talks graphically about the night she banged Shawn Michaels. It's not him fucking spreading the rumor, it's her.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
filthy animal.
I got him in a full Nelson.
Yeah, we're not talking about that pussy. We're talking about the other one.
Oh, wrong. Sorry, Meech. He's like, fuck you, Dad.
So, yeah, basically she sees Shawn doing this to another couple. She couldn't stand to see somebody else lose their match, so she had to speak out. And, Davey Boy Smith in his title shot, so that would be extra hard, if he lost his title shot because he can't concentrate.
I want me title shot.
Yeah. Like, the last thing we want, I mean, we'll worry about the marriage later, but you can't lose your match. So.
Exactly.
Then
I can't concentrate.
You would be 72 and 184 for the year instead of 72 wins and 183 losses, and we can't have that.
No.
So, Davey Boy Smith with Jim Cornette and Diana defeat Fatu with a running power slam. I'm not going to lie, I like half paid attention here. I know some Samoans were pissed off with Fatu for losing the match.
That was the Samoan Gangster Party.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was their name in ECW anyway.
Really compelling stuff.
Yeah, it was boring. It was boring as fuck. Bulldog was like, as a singles wrestler though, he was just so vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he had no personality, dude.
No, Dynamite Kid was the personality of that duo.
Yeah.
He was crazy as shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I kind of love it. The Mountie fucking knocked his teeth out though.
Demount me. Jacques Rougeau.
So, over on Nitro, Sting goes at it with Lord Steven Regal, who has Jeeves by his side. Sting defeats Regal with kind of a nasty looking bridge.
Yeah.
Didn't look great. Over on Raw, okay, see, it's so bad. We get the fucking Fatu versus British Bulldog, and then after that, we get the WWF champions, the Body Donnas, going against Techno Team 2000.
Dude, what's his name? Troy? Is it Troy and what are their names? One of Techno Team 2000 is Eric Watts, son of Bill Watts, the former booker for WCW and the guy that ran USWA.
Shane McMahon.
Yeah, except he never really got that push.
Yeah.
He hung out in WCW for a long time, though. He was there till almost the end. But Eric Watts he was a big fucker. He's like 6'4", or no, 6'6", and his partner was like 6'4". They were big. It looked funny when they were wrestling the Body Donnas because they were so much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then the Body Donnas defeat them with the whoopee cushion.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah.
With a whoopee cushion?
Yeah, that's the name of their finisher, the whoopee cushion.
Yeah, that's their finisher.
That's awful.
Right.
Wow.
It's like,
yes, it is.
You wonder why Sonny would have left him. So
he ran out of blow.
Yeah.
Her vagina made that same noise.
That's where he got the inspiration.
She told it in great detail on a podcast.
I'm thinking like they should have done how Mankind just broke down how he came up with the mandible claw. They really should have interviewed Chris Candido, and he could have given details as to the night he thought of the whoopee cushion.
So I was clapping Sunny, and her snoot started making these noises, going, and I was like, "That's gonna be our finisher, the whoopee cushion."
And then I started smelling Shawn Michaels.
Oh.
And Bret Hart, I knew it because it smelled like ham.
It smelled like a 60-minute Iron Man matchup.
Like Canadian bacon.
It smelled like ham and maple syrup.
Holy shit.
So in the back, JR meets with Vader and Jim Cornette. He lets him know Yokozuna's coming back at In Your House. But Cornette and Vader aren't worried because there's no way he could be at 100%. What about Duke Dumpster Drosy next week? Cornette can't think of a better man to take out the trash than Vader. I like.
Wait a minute. Did you say Yokozuna? I thought his name was Yoko Tuna.
Huh.
So the mouse didn't kill him yet?
Not yet. We're like 3 years away from that.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. I can't believe that's what took Yokozuna out, like a fucking spider or a mouse or something. Like,
right.
It's like how an elephant's afraid of a mouse.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Now you know why.
No, the spider scared him. He dropped that 2-gallon jar of mayonnaise and slipped on that and killed himself.
Is that what happened?
Sounds plausible to me.
That's
right.
That's what happened, man.
It's Mama Cass with a ham sandwich.
Mayonnaise slathered bologna. Slip. So the Giant, he's scheduled to defend the WCW World Heavyweight Championship against Lex Luger, and this isn't the only time. He was scheduled to defend it against Lex Luger on WCW Saturday Night as well, and like Saturday, Luger's a no-show for a shot at the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. So who do they replace him with? You can let everyone know, Etep.
It was my favorite guy of all time. Like probably my favorite worker ever. Ladies and gentlemen, it was this guy.
Oh,
Right here. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ho!
Where's the coke at?
Yeah.
the sheep
Like, that's
has it.
what happened. Like, Luger's like, if you take this match from me, I'll give you a bump. Like, why would you give Hacksaw a title match?
Right.
I don't know.
There's a lot more people you could have put in that match than Duggan that would have actually looked good as a title match, you know, to where it would have been like even somewhat plausible. But like Duggan, they're like, you are never in a million years gonna put the title on Hacksaw Jim Duggan, like never.
Right.
They should have put the Disco Inferno in there.
But David
That would
Arquette,
have been
Yeah.
but David Arquette, you get a title.
Judy Bagwell.
Like,
Oh my god.
if last week was a good end to Nitro, this week was an overbooked clusterfuck of a mess.
Yep.
So, of course, you know, I don't even need to say who wins the match. I'll just say if the opponent can't take a choke slam,
Oh god.
and that just happens to be the chance. Like, number one, how fucking untalented do you have to be to not be able to take a choke slam correctly?
Very. Fucking very.
Like that, it seems pretty basic, like wrestling 101. You know, you're getting slammed flat on your back. There's not much else to it.
Mhm.
But
Especially
Jim Duggan, yeah, Etep.
No, especially the way the Giant delivered it here, because you're going up and he's putting you right down. Because he did the diving one at this, which looks so much better.
Yeah,
it
it's
does
not
look
even
good.
like you were free falling.
Yeah. So what did Duggan do? How did he
I
not sell
don't-
this?
He probably. I don't think he lifted off the mat first off.
Hang on.
He just
Let me
laid
see if I
down.
can find it.
Because in order for them to do that properly, they got to lift off the mat with the guy when he picks him up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
how-
jumping. All you gotta do is jump.
If you
Now, I don't
could
think
pause
Duggan
it-
could jump at that point. He was too fucking round.
Yeah, yeah.
His
If you
knees were
find it,
buckling.
Etep, pause it and just like drag the cursor along, because they are really bad and really quick about claiming their stuff, WWE. And it's like,
I
it's
bet
not
you-
even your stuff, dicks.
You know what? I bet if they would have had a wire hanging down from the rafters with a bag of coke, he would have jumped.
Iron Sheik would have popped up out of nowhere and climbed
Wow.
on his shoulders.
I break you back and make you humble.
Yeah, like he like
Here.
lands kind of on his side, kind of on his. Either way, it looks
Here.
like absolute shit. And Giant
Here, Tony.
pins him.
Share
Oh.
that. I'll just play this. I got the audio muted. I'll just play the slam. Let me know.
I'm
when
actually
you
shocked
got-
people didn't come out of the crowd and try to roll him back into the ocean when that happened.
All right, right here it is, right here. Now, watch. This is fucking pathetic. All right.
Goes to tape up his fist again.
That was fucking horrible. Now there's the pin. Now he does it again. Hang on.
Oh, I missed the slam part.
Oh, you did? All right, hang on. All right. All right, here's the second one. I think it goes a little bit smoother. All right, yeah, here it is right here. Let's get I want to go right to the choke slam. All right, here it is right here. All right. See, that was nice.
He
Duggan
used his knee to lift him up.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yep.
say.
Right.
Because he knows how bad the.
Yeah, he used his knee to leverage him up.
Yep.
That was smart.
But that's fucking, and he was young, dude. He's a rookie
Yeah.
here.
Yep. That's what I was saying, man. He's so green, and he
Yep.
still knows what the hell he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was so yeah. After those atrocities, the second one was good, and I give all credit to Paul White for that one.
Yeah.
Ric Flair runs out with the stupidest fucking chair I've ever seen.
Oh well, he grabbed the chair they were sitting at that table with when
It's
they
a
were sitting there.
wooden, like what is that? Like, how are you at a wrestling event in the 90s and you have some like wooden chair? Like, it was the weirdest thing. Like, every week before this, they've had metal chairs. Every week after this, they're going to have metal chairs. But this one time, they have some weird block chair. And
But that's like that time where they use that plastic chair or whatever. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like a plastic.
Let's just use whatever isn't bolted to the ground.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this is funny because, like, yeah, he choke slams. He fucking Flair hits him with the fucking chair, hits him with the gimmick, and then Giant just like he just choke slams at everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He just because you get he choke slams Duggan, and you get fucking Cobra running down there.
Here comes the overbooked fucking mess.
Yeah, you have Cobra, the fucking Cuban assassin who I didn't even know was still on the roster.
Alex Wright.
Alex Wright.
Like, what are you all running out and feeding yourselves to the Giant for? Like, you're not friends with Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
They just have jobbers.
They told him in the back it will look great just to see him slam everybody. Everyone go out there.
Send out Cobra. Send Cobra and the Cuban assassin out.
Like, send Benoit out and send Arn Anderson out. Like that.
Yep.
What? Cobra?
Dude,
why? Why would Alex Wright do that? Yeah. What? Like it? Yeah. Send the Horsemen out. Make it make sense.
Yep.
So,
fucking Sting fucked his knee up though when he got there.
Did he? I missed that.
Yeah, Sting came in and he chop blocked the shit out of his knee a bunch of times.
Yeah. For some reason now, Sting. He finally got a hold of Flair, right? And Sting saved Flair.
I think that's the way it went.
Like,
yeah,
why?
and then because I know because they're feuding, right? And then Sting.
Yeah,
has,
but they're still friends, or they still have that like
mutual respect.
Yeah.
So the fucking because Sting got Giant in the Scorpion Deathlock. And
that looked like that was cool. Like, he struggled to get him over, I guess, but.
Yep.
Yeah, and even before the Scorpion Deathlock, he was like handing Giant his ass.
Yep. They were really they were putting Sting over, making him look absolutely strong. And then Luger came in with the fucking Halliburton, and they go because Giant powdered, I think, at that point, and they went off the air with Mean Gene, Mr. Tutti fucking Fruity, interviewing Lex Luger in his big stupid face, who was wearing what looked like it belonged in like the businesswoman today bin of clothes. I
actually thought he was gonna hit Sting with the case.
Yeah, because
I thought when he brought the Halliburton, I'm like, somebody's getting hit with this fucker.
Yeah.
Well, Sting is sitting there, yelling the same thing that Mean Gene is asking. Why are you here now? Like, this was supposed to be your match. Why didn't you show up Saturday? Why are you just showing up now when, I don't, so, and Luger starts incoherently rambling for about 2 seconds, strung out on whatever Ultimate Warrior gave him, and they just happened to have to go then. Like, right as he started rambling, they had to go. We're out of time. Sorry. So it's weird. Like, I kind of don't understand it. He started running out when Sting. He would have had to have started running out when Sting was handing Giant his ass, because it was right after that. Right when Giant started to get up and like actually reverse or something, that's when Luger rolled into the ring. So it's like, I don't understand. Were they insinuating like he was going out there to save Flair or hit Sting or save Giant? Like, it was convoluted and overbooked.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not really sure what I was supposed to feel at the end of that, but I know I am about over this whole, well, what side is Luger on? Because that's been going on for a while now. Over on Raw, in their main event, The Undertaker with Paul Bearer defeats Owen Hart with Jim Cornette via Tombstone, and this is something else I don't understand. They've been hyping, and I know Mankind and Taker will go at it in a Boiler Room match at SummerSlam, and they have an entire feud and never. But just like, did I miss something, or did they just suddenly tonight start building up the Undertaker versus Goldust?
Yeah.
Like kind of out of
Goldust-
nowhere. Like I thought Mankind was calling him out.
I don't know what the hell, because doesn't Undertaker end up wrestling Gold? Does he beat Goldust at a WrestleMania? I can't remember if he worked him at Mania.
I don't think he wrestled Goldust.
If he was one of his opponents, but I don't. But yeah, it didn't make sense. It's like you can't pull him in two different directions. You know?
Yeah, like
that,
it's weird.
It doesn't make sense to do that. Like, yeah, it's no, don't distract from the main program. If you got Undertaker working, you know, say he's okay, so he's working Mankind in a program. If they work somebody else, it's going to be in a tag match, or he's going to squash a jobber or something like that. You know what I mean? It's not going to be, hey, there's another name call, you know. No, because then the program gets convoluted unless it's a tag team thing.
But I believe that freaking WWE, they've been doing that a lot though, where they start to have these guys like feuding, and then out of nowhere they have another guy just jumps in the middle. They they put shit on pause, and then they kind of bring all three of them together at some point, which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's weird, right?
Yeah.
So he's not going to wrestle Goldust at WrestleMania because he wrestled Diesel at 12, and then he's going to main event 13 with Psycho Sid, and then 14 is Kane, and then I think by 15 Goldust is gone or headed towards WCW.
Is he going to be 7? He's going to be 7.
7.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
The fucking creepy pedo fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking weird shithole that was.
So this second week, I can't even, because the first week was, it was okay seeing Warrior. I guess it's not something you normally see on Raw. That main event with Giant Ric Flair was pretty good, but that second week just kind of all around left a bad taste in my mouth. It was just kind of weird, Not much happened. You didn't find out who this wife was accusing Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
We
I was kind of waiting for that reveal.
Yeah, we had Techno Team 2000 and Davey Boy Smith and Fatu and Undertaker. Any Undertaker match is cool. That adds a little value to the card. But you think, okay, now we're going to see Undertaker respond to Mankind's promo from last week. He is calling him out and saying, honestly, I'm getting bored with Taker. I mean, he's insulting him after beating him down, and Taker comes out focused on Goldust and has a gold casket that says Goldust and a star on it, and is like totally focused over here. I don't think it makes Taker look very it looks like he's trying to avoid Mankind.
Yeah.
I've been trying to avoid Mankind for generations. Our people are seriously being killed and butchered by these no good villains. Damn humans.
True that, man.
Yeah.
So
very little faith in Mankind at this point.
Yes. It's
So that's why you should join the Vampire World Order.
I'm with you, bro.
That's a sell. That's a sell.
Yeah, we use his crew to actually get around, do a little bit more nibbling cross country. It's awesome. It's a really good partnership.
Yep. They give you wings.
Guinea pigs.
That's almost a comic itself, right? Vampire guinea pigs.
Right.
Like that's awesome.
Oh shit.
This reminds me of that South Park episode where the startling with all the look, they're guinea pirates. Look, now they're guinea bunnies. I just man, I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Because everything was cartoon except for the guinea pigs.
Yes. Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
Peruvian flute bands or whatever.
Peruvian pan flutes.
Yes.
What season was that?
God, that was back. That was around the time that oh shit, what was that? Cloverfield came out, so like 07.
Okay. Oh, so
that
that was before the Coon, right? When they did the superhero shit.
Season 12.
Yeah, that wasn't until like 13, I think. They did the Coon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The king.
The King.
That was a cool time. I liked that.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, the one of the most 10 notorious WWE diva urban legends is the number one is Vince McMahon's had affairs with several divas. I don't think that's an urban legend at this point. I think that's pretty much just the truth.
We know he had more sex with referees. Over here.
Do you think little Flair probably got it too?
Oh god.
Well,
they have a female ref in WWE now.
Yeah, I saw
definitely
that.
no Aubrey Edwards. That's for damn sure.
Aubrey's cute.
Her count was awful.
and she's good at fucking.
She's
reffing.
a good ref. Yeah, I've seen her shit on YouTube.
That female WWE referee, like she was doing the mixed tag match, right? Edge and
I think so. And like, there's one count where she should have been counting, and she's like, fucking, I don't know what the hell she was doing, and then she decides she's gonna count.
You could see her preoccupied during the count, like trying to, okay, this is only a 2 count. Like, it doesn't look good. That was very noticeable in the match, in the mixed.
I think it was more like I could see that they actually stuffed something in those trunks. That's just terrible.
Etep, did you have a article pulled up?
I do. As a matter of fact. Yes, I will share that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here we go right here. We have 10 old school wrestling valets you forgot about. Number 10, Miss Linda. Several years ago, the WWE Network. Look at Adrian Street. She was Adrian Street's valet. One of the androgynous fellows. And wow.
He probably fit in now.
I think I vaguely remember that guy.
Yeah, she looks like she works the day shift at one of the local strip clubs around me. Number 9, Lady Blossom. Jeannie Clark. Immediately, like Bruce Pritchard explained his best Dusty Rhodes impression. She was called Lady Blossom, because he was blossoming out of a top. Clark's born model found her in the wrestling business, trained by Chris Adams, and before the two started dating. I don't remember her at all.
I don't either.
I vaguely recall her face.
Gentleman Chris Adams.
Clark actually. Okay, huh. Perhaps her biggest claim to fame is that Clark actually the one that came with credited with coming up with the Stone Cold moniker. It's the pair had worked themselves into a shoot when Clark left Adams for his trainee, stunning Steve Austin.
That's what I was thinking. I think Chris Adams is the one who trained Steve Austin. That's what I was.
Gentleman Chris Adams.
Yeah.
Here's Dark Journey. She's what? Congo Kong? No, I'm sorry. Who's this?
I remember
Dick
the
Slade.
missing link.
I don't remember her. The missing link. He looks like Congo Kong. Yeah, I don't remember her at all. Medusa, yeah, absolutely. She was
Lunger Blaze when she came to WWF.
She was such a good worker. Like, she drives monster trucks now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Her body was so fantastic.
Oh God, she was fucking gorgeous. She was gorgeous.
One episode of Raw, she was wrestling in like white spandex, and it was like, more of this, please.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah, man, I remember that.
I remember that. She was wrestling one of the Japanese chicks.
Don't say it too loud. We might summon Frosk. You're not allowed to jerk off.
Yes, we were. We were teenagers.
Don't forget Bertha Faye.
That's who she was working with, Bertha Faye.
Yeah.
Sunshine. She was Jimmy Garvin's valet. Fucking Jimmy Garvin, one of the only white boys to pull off Soul Glow. Precious, I remember Precious with Jimmy and Ronnie.
Nope.
Fucking Ronnie Garvin like never fit in with any gimmick except like the tough guy gimmick. Remember his move? Remember the Garvin stomp?
No.
Does anybody else remember the Garvin stomp?
Mm-mm.
No, nobody knows. Randy Orton did it.
Okay.
Randy Orton fucking did it. So the dude's laying on the ground, and you just basically go around their body and like stomp like their arms, their legs, like their chest, their head. I fuck around. I do that to Trey. Trey will be laying on the floor. I'll come and give him the fucking Garvin stomp. Let's see. Number 4, we have woman, and Nancy was hot. She was so hot.
Mm-hmm.
Miss
I
Alexandra.
had to check my pigs. I thought that was mine at first.
It was Tony's pigs. Miss Alexandra York for the York Foundation. This is Terry Runnels. Back in the day.
I don't remember as that, but I remember as Terry.
I remember the York Foundation.
Have I been on my camera webcam all night coughing and shit? Sorry, guys.
I didn't hear you.
Huh? I
didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Just because like my mic was muted right now, and then y'all heard the guinea pigs.
Oh, I didn't hear you cough. Number 2, Missy Hyatt. Yeah.
I'd like to get to know her.
Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
Missy Hyatt was hot back in the day. Yeah. And Fifi the maid. Whether
I don't remember her.
No. Flair returned to WCW. It wasn't long before he had his own talk show, Flair for the Gold. By his side was not only Double A, but his maid Fifi. While she wasn't the traditional valet, a year later the two reconnected. And, oh shit, she became his real life valet. When? I don't remember that.
If that's his current wife, I think they just recently split.
Why does that not surprise me that Ric Flair got divorced for the? He's had more divorces than he has world title runs.
He's just gonna helicopter dick another one in. Like,
well, yeah, but they all know in the end that Space Mountain is broke down.
Yes.
Yeah, because of his old balls.
Why do people feel the need, like, if it hasn't worked after the second, third time, maybe just be in a long-term relationship? Like,
yeah,
some motherfuckers love getting married.
Well, he loves giving away half his shit.
I was gonna say, how many times do you want to give away half your shit, dude?
And the propeller trick don't work anymore. Now when he does the rope gimmick, it's his balls dragging on the floor.
No.
He's got his balls.
And that woo is because of how cold the floor is.
Nowadays it's the helicopter Kobe took.
He acted so fucking weird at that convention when I showed you the photo of me and him. Oh, he was like 4 hours late. Then when he got there, like he was afraid to poke his head in. And like, what is he doing? Like, no one understood what the hell Flair was doing. But when he sat at his table, everything was cool and but like he was like skittish. And they kept saying, well, it was in South Carolina, and they said he was afraid of something because they still had something happened in one of those areas, and they hate him or some shit. So he was, I don't know, like afraid to go in there. It was bizarre.
When you asked for his autograph, did he just dip the tip in a thing of ink and just?
I didn't ask for his autograph.
The page?
No,
he
brought
an autograph. Woo!
He borrowed my pens. That's why I'm like,
you keep it.
Like, can I get a photo?
It's got herpes now. Just keep it.
Yeah, exactly. Holy shit!
That's awesome. I
You
never
get a
got
photo.
to
What?
meet-
You get a photo with him. You stand like what, 20 feet behind him?
No, we're sitting next to one another.
Oh God, you're a braver man than I.
I never met Flair, but when I was leaving, and it was the first Nitro where they changed the logo and and changed the whole look of Nitro and stuff. That was at the MGM Grand Garden out here, and my cousin-in-law picked me up after the show. I had went alone, and we're on Trop in Las Vegas Boulevard, about to turn off. Just go to Anyway, Dusty Rhodes was crossing the street from the New York over to the MGM Grand, and he had like two hot girls with him, but
it was just kind of surreal. I'm like watching from the car windows, the American Dream crosses the crosswalk and just walks down the sidewalk. It was kind of cool.
He did not have Sweet Sapphire with him.
Was he wearing the cowboy hat back then?
He's just a common man.
He was always wearing that at one point.
Hard with his hands.
Yeah, I don't think he had it on, but my cousin noticed him at first. He was like, dude, it's the American Dream. Look over, and he's just got like 2 women a third his age on each side. It's fucking awesome.
Is that prostitution? It's legal here.
Doth the road love the prostitute, baby?
Oh,
Spend
yeah.
the common
I get to meet
man's
Sting.
money on the whores. Here we go. Here's the worst WCW tag teams during every year in the 90s. As we see some of the previews of them here.
It's Steiner.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 10, Dudes with Attitudes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when Ole Anderson was booking. Paul. Oh, God, this is great. Let them. Paul Orndorff, the Junkyard Dog, and Elegante. 2 men far old for this, and one of the worst workers ever, having some atrocious 6-man tag matches and failing to win over the crowds. The dude soon fell apart to prove babyface stables don't always work well. That's Paul Orndorff, Elegante, and the Junkyard Dog. That's terrible.
I remember Elegante.
Okay, when you're done with this, I'm going to ask all of you what your least favorite match is, because mine is easily the 6-man tag, and I'll explain why. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Number 9, 1991, the State Patrol. This was Lieutenant James Earl Wright and Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, dressed like Big Boss Man fans in full uniforms. But yeah, they were jobbers relegated to WCW Saturday nights. And WCW Pro, obviously. Is this would tell us? Here we go, right here. Greg the Hammer Valentine and Dirty Dick Slater at number 8. Dick Slater worked as a good tag team with Bunkhouse Buck, but I was surprised they hung out in WCW until like 96, because that is like a straight 80s gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That looks it.
They've been rivals, and then they were paired in a tag. Let's see, the pairings had a few matches on WCW Saturday Night and the syndicated shows against pairings like Marcus Bagwell and Big Josh. Does anybody remember Big Josh?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He was fucking terrible. 93, the Colossal Kings. Yeah, so after Harley Race managed Kongs. Did I say Kings? Yeah, the Kongs.
Sounds like
Kongs.
Sounds like
the
one of
Colossal
those
we was
CG shows.
They're the Colossal we was Kangs. They had King and Crusher Kong. Sadly, they were bad workers.
Yeah,
I don't.
Those masks made them look like they had pig snouts.
They did it. They did. They look like the pig man from Seinfeld. Number 6, 1994, Bad Attitude. Bobby Eaton and Steve Kern.
What the hell?
Bobby Eaton perpetually had a mullet his entire career. Like, and Steve Kern, I vaguely remember him.
He kind of looks like a pissed off 14-year-old girl.
From 1970.
That was like Adele when he broke up with her, whoever did. Yeah, like she. Yeah, anyway. Men at Work.
Men at Work, and not Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen. We're talking Chris Kanyon and Mark Starr. And does anybody Does anybody else find it ironic that Chris Kanyon was in a gimmick where he dressed like a sweaty construction worker?
I didn't know he'd been around that long.
Oh, yeah.
I know, right?
But he was Mortis, too. 96, Fire and Ice.
They just debuted. Again, we've got this great new tag team, and we're going to feed them to the Steiners. We're not...
Because they had a feud. They had a little feud before that, you know?
It's just
And,
such bad booking. Like, if you want
That's-
to put over a strong new tag team, you probably shouldn't have them go out and lose.
Yep. And I actually like these two. I thought they had decent talent. Not the greatest workers, but I mean, they just never did anything. They reminded me of Paul Roma and Jimmy Powers, the Young Stallions in WWF. They were just like these two big buff jobbers.
It was a 1992, 1993 gimmick at the turn of the millennium.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But on top of
Right.
it too, a name like High Voltage, you would think that they were guys jumping off the ropes and shit. Little guys or maybe like the masked Mexican tag team shit.
Yeah.
Not two guys who look like they're so muscle bound they can't even wipe their own
Yeah.
ass.
See, Vinny, you're looking at it all wrong. That's how they move after they've gotten hit with the high voltage.
Say like they should be named Big Ohms or something. Like
Here it is, 1998. Rick Steiner and Judy Bagwell.
Oh,
That's not number one. That's number two.
I fucked your mom, kid.
The No Limit Soldiers, number one.
Yeah,
that was the
an,
biggest. That was a fucking joke.
Yeah, that was.
I don't even
Yo,
know.
how did Jay Leno not make it on this fucking list?
Yeah, Jay Leno and Hogan.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool, dude. It was like, all right, Dennis Rodman, Karl Malone, that's kind of fucking cool, you know? They had their beef on the court, now they're going to have it in the ring. But then the next month, they go and recruit Jay Leno. Like, why?
Yeah, you've got Hulk Hogan jobbing out to fucking Jay Leno at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That is sad.
Let that sink in. Just let that fucking sink in. You know.
Did RoboCop happen yet?
Did what?
Yeah, that was,
happened in '91. That was like Capital Combat.
Thank God it already happened, you know. RoboCop had kind of fallen out of the public zeitgeist by 1996. Wasn't a bad... Yeah, I liked RoboCop too.
Yeah.
RoboCop 2 is good. The third one was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's the one where he flies, right?
Yeah. Didn't they do a reboot or something?
They did.
Yeah, they did. I thought it was horrible.
I didn't even... dude, you know what? I'm good with the trilogy existing. That's fine. I don't need anything new. Leave it the fuck alone.
Didn't they actually make 4 of them?
Yeah, there's a fourth one. He fights a samurai in that one, I think.
Of course he does.
A
I
cyborg
forgot about
samurai.
the flying. Yeah, they made... I guess it wasn't, because 1994 was RoboCop 4. I guess he wasn't completely gone by 96.
But Weller only did the first 2, right?
Yeah. I don't think he was in the third one.
No, it was somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah, there was parts of the sequel that were pretty good. One was a fucking classic though.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, dude. Yes, absolutely. Small time Republic. Brad Armstrong was indeed a No Limit Soldier because they did not ever know what to do with Brad Armstrong. So they were like, "Here, do this, Brad. You're a No Limit Soldier, Brad. Brad, go walk around the sign. Go walk around the crowd with a sign. Does anybody remember that?"
I think so.
Yep. Like he had a sign. He had some kind of sign that said like "We'll wrestle for food" or some shit.
Oh my god.
That's Ice Train, not Lizzo, Glenzer.
We got to see Scott Norton tag team with fucking Lizzo back in '96.
To the chat, I'm sorry I'm not more attentive. It's like Hail Dragon Master, Gap Stargate. It's just I'm over on my results page, so I can't see the chat when I'm reading through the wrestling results and stuff. But I appreciate everybody hanging out and making conversation and great jokes, and definitely.
Oh shit, Dragon Master's here. What's up, Dragon Master?
What up?
Bobby looking like Amy Schumer in that.
Oh my god.
John Cena was inside me raw.
Yeah. Adam, I don't think I saw part 3 either, because I when Draven mentioned, isn't that where he was flying? I got flashbacks to posters and trailers, I think, but I don't think I saw RoboCop 3.
You
Or
didn't
if I
miss
did, it
anything.
was like once when it first came out.
Ah, crap. Yeah, you didn't miss anything, man.
Yeah,
You did.
I don't need to see RoboCop fly.
No.
Dude, it's funny because like I was just listening to the RoboCop like main theme because Trey wanted to listen to it in the truck this morning.
3 is where he fights the robot samurai.
Was it? No.
Wait,
Was it
you
3?
said hold on, you said samurai. Now you're saying robot samurai.
Yeah, he's like he's an android.
What the
man.
fuck?
What were these people on? Well, there was a lot of coke back then.
Yeah, I don't remember it now.
That's insane, a robot samurai.
And he can fly in that one too.
I remember him flying. I didn't know who he was fighting.
The magical Latina girl was in 3.
Oh, of course.
Magical.
She was Latinx. She was Latinx.
I just seen something that just made me giggle. So somebody let me know. Oh, did you hear? Whoopi got suspended for 2 weeks for her comments.
Yeah,
I gave her 2 weeks. They fired Roseanne.
They're all white to me.
What? Because they just signed
Yeah.
this bitch for another like 4 years or something, and it's millions of dollars. So let's put her on suspension. Mm-hmm.
RoboCop 4 is called Law and Order.
Oh my god. Dun dun.
I know. I was
like
thinking the same thing.
It sounds like a wrestler's tag team wrestling thing gimmick.
So bad.
Law and Order.
Bum 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 bum
Yeah.
bum. Tag team is managed by
Like-
Dick Wolf.
Big Bubba's in it. Yeah. So I want.
because Dick Wolf's the producer on Law and Order.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Well,
seen Law and Order. They have so many different ones. Right?
There's 900. You have Law and Order, Sport Utility Vehicle. I mean, there's a ton of them.
They're just they've gone so woke. Like, I hadn't really seen them, and then my wife got into them like last year, and we ended up catching up. We saw them all, whatever. So we turn on a new one. Like, it was part of like this past season, and Mariska Hargitay or whatever her character's like. It's a white nationalist in the interview room, and she's like, ever since January 6th, people like this think they have the right to just go and do whatever they want. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this.
Well, you've noticed, like, now we've talked about it before, how they get louder and louder because nobody wants to hear their shit anymore, and then all of a sudden you start seeing even more celebrities coming out and backing this ridiculous behavior. Why? Because they're being told, probably from the higher ups in Hollywood that are running the agenda game, look, you're going to need to have to speak up on this too. We need more people pushing this agenda. We need to prepare for the 2022 elections, and gearing up for 2024. We need all hands on deck.
You're 100% right, man. That's how they operate. And then when people stop watching the shows, well, it's across the board, right? So they go, normally, like, a decade or so ago, they'd be like, oh, yeah, the ratings are so bad, we got to clip this show. But ratings are down everywhere because no one wants to see shit like this. So they just, this is just the normal now. Like, the ratings are this piss poor. It's okay.
It's the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's the coof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They can't blame.
It's Joe Rogan. It's all Joe Rogan.
That's it. You
Mr.
can't blame
11 million an episode.
Yeah, after Spider-Man makes $1 billion, you can't blame COVID anymore.
No, you
That
watch.
excuse is
You
gone.
watch.
You
By the
put
time
out
summer
good
rolls
entertainment.
around, you know they're going to go ridiculous when summer rolls around again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, they will. We
I'm
know
sure.
it. But
I'm
again,
sure.
though, that was the great thing, right? That Spider-Man made that much money, and it proved
Yep.
that there's no woke bullshit. People are sick of woke shit,
Yep.
More proof of that too, because a lot of people thought that the new Ghostbusters was going to be woke too, and it wasn't.
Yep.
But people were still afraid to go out to the theater at that point. They were all waiting, like, "Yeah, fuck it. If we're going to take that chance, we'll take it on Spider-Man." But I'll tell you right now, I had to go out to the stores today, and a freaking around noon, Walmart completely sold out of the Blu-rays of Afterlife.
Afterlife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did it
And
just come out today?
Yeah, it came out today, and I had to go to Target,
Wow.
and Target was running pretty damn low as well.
Shit, I
Look
would
at
have
this.
went and got it today.
I know. I didn't know
I
it
didn't
came
know
out
it came
today.
out
I would have
today
went and
either.
bought it. I would have went and bought it for Trey because we have the other two, and we need this one.
Well, I have yet to see it, so I was actually looking for it a month ago because I was figuring, no, it's got to be out by now, and nope.
Yeah, we were on a couple.
It's
of
a good
streams,
movie.
and, and I said
it is.
I looked it up during one of those streams. I said, oh yeah, it's February 1st.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that. We
it
got to
is.
support it on disc since it didn't make much in the theaters.
Exactly,
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
That's the
It
way to
did.
do
They didn't even have a partnership with any streaming service to put it on anywhere, did they?
No,
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
it's a Sony movie, so whoever Sony does.
Yes,
There's
Sony was kind of against it. They wanted people to go to the theaters because
Yeah.
Venom did
Yeah.
really well. Well, especially during this Coof bullshit. The sequel still
Yeah.
did really well, and then that was I think their next big movie before Spider-Man.
Yep.
It was nice to have a year that Disney didn't own.
Oh, yeah,
dude. The fact that No Way Home made more money than all three of Disney's other cinematic releases in the MCU was fucking great.
Yeah.
Because No Way Home was Sony. Got 75% of the profit.
They said right now it's on the tails of Avatar. Like, they're
Right.
thinking it might actually beat Avatar. That's why they're not putting it on Blu-ray yet. There's no announcements. for a
Yeah,
release
if it's
date.
making money.
Mhm. Which is great, man. So keep milking them.
Hang on, I'm looking it up.
So while you look that up, and
Yeah.
before, like, we're gonna have to wrap this up here
Yep.
soon, guys. But I do want to go around and ask what everybody's like least favorite style of wrestling matches, and we can just go in order here. Draven.
Let me think about it. Go to somebody else.
Tommy.
I would probably say like when they do the team matches, and it doesn't even have to be a 3 tag team, a 4 tag team. Anytime they do the tag matches, I hate the fact that somebody has to tag an opposing member in. I don't understand why they don't do like they do a lot of the other matches where they have a 4 corners match and all 4 people are in at the same time. They should have one person from every team in the ring at the same time, and they tag their partner. That I think that was my least favorite match out of any matches that any corporation has ever done. I hated that shit because it made no sense.
Yeah. And I just want to make, you're talking about like, let's say like a 4-team match, and when one person tags, like everybody has to make the tag.
Mm-hmm.
Or like even the mixed gender matches, I kind of don't like that. Like, that's why I don't like the mixed gender matches, because it's like one person makes the tag and both people are forced to change.
Yeah,
it throws off the
that's
natural
the
motion.
That's the one I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think now that you mentioned it, that's probably mine as well.
Mm-hmm. Those are always the fucking worst, man. It's just so stupid. Like the build up is always kind of like it's fun to watch a little bit, but then when they actually have the match, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Because like what was her name? Alexa Bliss with Braun Strowman. Like while they were building that stuff up, it was kind of cool. It was fun. And then like they're gonna do a match together. It's
apparently the new AEW game, you're gonna be able to do intergender matches where like you have chicks versus dudes and stuff, which is pretty cool because
But you could do that in like
you could do that on No Mercy.
Yeah.
Like they just
every
have
other
to
wrestling game you can basically do that on. I think
they just have to make a big deal about it now.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you, Etep? What's your least favorite style of match?
Any tag match that involves more than 4 people can suck my dick. I've wrestled in more fucking 8-man tag matches, like, and I mean a 4 corner style. Well, basically any. I don't like the Survivor Series style matches. I liked it when I was a kid because it was cool to see some of the guys that you wouldn't see together, on the heel and babyface teams. And maybe, you got to see a heel versus a baby face, even for a minute in the ring that you never got to see before. But from a worker's perspective, any tag match with more than just 2 teams is garbage. They're a clusterfuck. I hate them. I hate them. I hated fucking working in them, and I hate watching them.
I'm there with you guys, and like I have a special dread for 6-man tags, because that's what like this main event of SmackDown was for about 8 years running, or whenever Teddy Long is there, you're getting a 6-man tag, sucker, and it's always awkward. It's usually like a tag team plus this person, and it's just a weird chemistry. Nothing ever gets like when they say it's going to be a 6-man tag main event, you might as well change, because nothing's going to happen. It's just going to end in a stalemate. Even if it's a clean finish, it doesn't matter, because it's 6 people. It's not 1-on-1, or a tag team versus a tag team,
I actually prefer the tornado tag, where it's 2 teams and then the 4 guys are just beating the shit.
They're all brawling.
Yeah. I prefer those, honestly.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be mine, just because it's like, and I'm not a fan of Survivor Series aren't so bad because it's elimination, so it can end up being 1-on-4. Like, you can get interesting combinations out of that. But yeah, if it's anything outside of just a tag team match or a class or a tornado tag match, something like that, like I love when they do tornado tag matches in a cage or something, like, or a street fight. That's awesome. But yeah, anything outside, once we start getting 6 people or 2 teams of 4 people or 4 teams of 2 people, anything like that, it's just, it doesn't, with the exception of the TLC matches, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardy Boys, they worked well together. But other than that, it's just, it's awkward. There's no real match, or like I should say psychology or story to tell. It just kind of goes through the motions, I guess.
I want to say one thing. The only 6-man tag matches I really like were at the beginning of Nitro with the Luchadors. Because those little fuckers were just flying all over the place like a bunch of little jumping beans. As Bobby Heenan used to say, they did, man. Them little fuckers were everywhere. And I love the Luchadors, man. That's one good thing Paul E. did, was bring a lot of those guys up to Philly from Mexico. And then Bischoff came in with the big fucking payday and brought guys like Psychosis and Hoovy and La Parca and all them into fucking WCW. Silver King, the Villanos, what's his name? Fuck, I got all these luchador names flying through my fucking. You got let's see, I'm trying to think. Silver King's tag partner, El Dandy. They were Los Fabulosos. I mean, dude, there was a ton of luchadors.
That was like all Flash too, and that's why it was good. They weren't trying to jam a story behind it or move storylines forward. You could just enjoy it for what it was.
Yep.
I heard you guys talking about the survival matches too. I mean, there were a few of them that were actually pretty good. And I am not a fan of Dolph Ziggler at all, but that one where he was left alone against that entire team in that Survivor match, that was actually pretty decent, because you expected him to just get, wiped up and down that ring, and somehow I don't remember if he pulled it out or if he almost pulled it out, but
it was just a good story being told.
Yep.
Dolph was like, talk about being stuck in purgatory, like, and I can't say that because I think the Intercontinental level's right about where he belongs, but at the upper tier of Intercontinental champions. But people were expecting him to like headline WrestleMania at one point, and when he came out during the Rumble, I just kind of felt bad. Like he's been in the same spot for years.
Yeah, but they said it too. One of the reasons was because he was very egotistical as well, and he thought he was the hot shit behind the scenes. So it's his own ego screwed him up. And then when he kind of got a little more humble, they were already pushing other people hard.
Yeah. It's like
Way to go,
Kofi's turn.
Dickie!
Yeah, man, these guys, unbelievable.
So with that, I think we should wrap it up for the evening.
Yeah. Oh, real quick though, Etep, did you look up the thing with Spidey?
Oh yeah, it's 1.739800 and some change. So we're just under that 1.8 billion mark.
Okay. And what was Avatar?
Oh shit! Hang on.
I was kind of hoping this movie would hit 2.
Yeah, man, me too. It's still very close.
Yeah.
Let's
see. Top grossing movies of all time. Right now we've got the Avatar is at 2.847, 246, 203. Endgame 2797, 501, 328, and Titanic's in number 3. Let's see.
That's weird.
Spider-Man No Way Home is in 6th, right behind Infinity War by about 261 million roughly.
Okay. Is it supposed to be released somewhere else around the world or some shit? Because they're making it sound like they're so close to getting to Avatar. I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right. There's a few other movies in the way.
Yeah, I don't think this is ever. I don't think that's ever going to get any more releases. I think it's all done. Honestly.
Yeah, that's weird.
Did
it was like on the news, like, oh yeah, it's getting close to Avatar. No, it's not.
Did it beat The Force Awakens or no?
Yeah, The Force Awakens. Wait, no, it didn't, because that's at 4. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's at 6. Infinity War's 5. Force Awakens at 4. Titanic 3. Endgame, and then Avatar.
God, it deserves to beat The Force Awakens.
I know.
At least.
What's the number on Force Awakens?
Force Awakens is 2,069,521,700.
I think that was the first $2 billion movie.
Oh, okay.
I think
you're right.
Yeah, because it made it before Infinity War did. Force Awakens 2015, Infinity War 2018.
Yeah, and then they cheated and released Avatar like fucking 2 more times.
Yeah.
Yep. They just re-released it like last year?
And they did the same thing with Titanic. Titanic got a couple of releases.
Yep.
I never saw Avatar in the theater, and I've seen it like once or twice, and it's like
I've seen it in theater.
I watched
it 3D.
Yeah,
I could do you one better. I've never watched it.
Yeah, well, I was like at a dentist office or something that was on.
The visual experience in 3D was really good, but other than seeing it in theater, there's really no point to see the movie.
Yeah, it just wasn't fair. I'm like, this is
because you see it for the experience, not because it's a good movie.
You know,
I guess so that makes sense.
I'm more into just good storytelling.
Yeah, and like you said, if you want to see that story, just watch Fern Gully. And if you want to see nice CG effects, put on any video game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with that, everyone, we're gonna wrap up for the evening and just thank you all. It was a great birthday, and I wouldn't want to spend it with anyone else but you guys talking about wrestling.
You sweet son of a bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy birthday, brother. Dude, it was a blast.
Birthday.
I'm gonna break into Through the Woods right when we jump off of here, but Mr. Draven, what have you got going on, sir?
Just doing the Twitch thing. I started playing this game called Death's Door, where you're a crow and you're basically death, running around getting souls, and you lose your contract soul, so now you are like stuck in the real world and where you can age until you can find that soul again. So I've been playing that, and it's pretty good. So you can watch me play that. I'm not sure. I want to say not Tuesday. What's today? Tuesday. So
Tuesday.
Thursday, I will be probably playing that over there, or Fortnite with a couple buddies. So, yep.
Nice.
Awesome, man. It's always good to stream with you, brother.
Yep, always a pleasure. And happy birthday, dude.
Yeah,
Happy
thank you.
4-0.
Yeah. Tommy.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective sitting here with a room full of a bunch of damn youngsters bragging about how they're right around 40. When you get up to my age, then you can start bragging. Usually you can find me over at my channel, Feeding the Pigs, talking about good old toys and movies from the past that we love so much. And of course, Monday, 6 p.m., going old school retro discussions. Next Monday, I have something planned for a Ghostbusters discussion, because I actually wound up finding one of the older Ghostbusters toys. It isn't much, but it's something from the 80s, and I was actually surprised it still damn worked when I put the batteries in. So I was like, man, I got to film this, and I'm going to see what else I can find. I got the movies. I'm going to do a rundown discussion on those as well. I want to just put a nice little segment together for that. I don't know how long it'll run. I don't think it'll run as long as the wrestling discussion we had this past Monday. And if you guys haven't caught that one, go check that one out. We had Etep there. We had Tony. We had Vinny. My buddy Slasher stopped in. We had Jens there as well. And Adam, of course, too. And we had wonderful discussions about everything about wrestling, including all the merchandise that it spawned. That was so much fun. And, of course, Thursday at 7:45, Vinny and I have Collectible Pass by United Underground, and we're going to get together and have some fun talking about some of these retro toys, these new releases that are doing it right, and talking about some of the older stuff that we love that it was spawned from. So if you haven't subscribed to the Guinea Pig Collective, we're going to find you. We're going to nibble off your toes. And remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent. Happy birthday, Tony. Everybody in the chat, you all are amazing. Best chat on YouTube. Rock on.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you. And dude, I love your silence gives consent outro. That's one of the best I've heard, bro.
When I seen that little quote, I'd seen it somewhere, and I don't recall where I originally seen it, but I seen it was from Plato. And I said, oh, that is just perfect. And I was like, well, what can I put in there? What can I put in there? And that's why I started playing with different things I want to say. Originally, I think I had 3 different things to say, and I cut it down to 2 to shorten it. But yeah, it's such a powerful statement.
It really is, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks again, man. Mr. Etep Wokuian Kazoo.
Hi, you can come over and join the Church of Etepology and become one of my Kazooians. And you can be in the Etep Kazooian Mormon Tabernacle Kazoo Choir. And you can play along at home with Marvel Mondays with us. And also, you can join us tomorrow night. I'm grabbing my schedule here because, God damn it, I took my glasses.
Where's the kazoo merch?
Hang on, we're working on the merch right now. This hat does not look right with these. Anyway, I have to read, so I have to put the fuckers back.
Hey, should I wear this hat with these Tech 9s?
these slippers with the Tech 9, or these high tops with the Uzi? I'll just wear these then. But tomorrow night on the show, we got the Wednesday night, The Place to Be reviews live. You can join us when we are joined by, let's see, tomorrow night is February 2nd. So we have B. Rose and Brian from Aerith, the Aerith Saga coming on, as well as Brightest Day will be joining us. We just booked Brightest Day earlier today. So he'll be joining us tomorrow night. For that, you get, I have to work tomorrow, but I'll still try to put a video out. Not sure on what yet, but you know what, tomorrow is Wednesday, which means it's motherfucking Batwoman Day. So Thursday, I am not working. I will work on the video all day and try to get as much done as I can. It will be out earlier on Friday, even though the kid will be home Friday, but I'll still be able to work. We'll get the video done. It'll be out earlier. And yeah, so you get a live stream tomorrow night. I don't think I'm making any appearances anywhere Thursday night. I think I'm probably going to go to bed at like 7 o'clock and be old. That's what I'm going to do Thursday. And I'm probably taking the weekend
nice.
off. I'm going to take the weekend off, though, because I'm going to do some family stuff. I'm going to take the kids sledding. And quick funny story. You guys all basically know the kid. You know Mini-Me Tap. And this morning, and I told Tony this about what is like 6:30 my time. I'm in the bathroom, and I'm just finished getting him showered, and the wife's in tucking his shirt in for school. He's got his little uniform he's got to wear. And I hear her yell at me, Peter, no. I'm like, oh shit, she called me Peter. I'm like, fuck. It's like when my mom says it, immediately just terrified. And
she doesn't give you the full name.
Oh no, it was Peter Sever. Never mind, it was my full name. So I don't really give a fuck. Whatever. So she says my full name, and I'm like, all right. So I'm like, what? And I walk across there, and she's like, you can't say that. That's bad to trade. I'm like, what did he say? She goes, he didn't wind up like George Floyd. I'm like,
it's the fentanyl, baby.
And immediately, I'm thinking, I'm like, what did he say wrong, baby? I'm like,
see, I
was like, I was just like, whatever. At this point, I'm like, buddy, I'm like, you're fine. You didn't say anything wrong. I'm like, nobody wants to end up like that, high on fentanyl all the time with a gun to a pregnant woman's belly. I didn't say that to my 6-year-old, but I said nobody wants to end up like that. I said, you didn't say anything wrong. I was like, he's a criminal.
Criminal.
These are life lessons that you need to teach your children. That criminals are criminals, and they're not meant to be celebrated. So,
that's right. No matter what the media says.
That's fucking That's parenting 101. So thank you guys, panel. Tony, my brother, happy birthday, man. And the last thing I will say is get your ass over to the Teespring store and pick out something so I can send you your fucking birthday present.
Definitely, brother, and thank you.
You're welcome, man. Love you, bro.
Love you too, brother. Vinny.
Hey, you beautiful sons of bitches. Dude, it's always a blast being here. You can catch me over on VinnieArt. You can pick up some of my amazing books. They ship immediately, as you saw tonight, how quick they get there. Through the Woods, still available, hardcover. Co-creator, co-writer is in the chat as well. Frankie knows. Also, you could pick up City of Venus with the 2 art books, all in the same campaign. Just hit the featured tier if you want all 3 books, and do the add-on for the first one, for volume 1 of the art book. But yeah, City of Venus 2 is going to be coming at you as well. I'm going to start working on that as soon as Shadow of the Kraken's done, and we're getting there. We're almost there. I am painting up the last handful of pages. We got to do lettering. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be first quarter, and I'm excited as hell. I've been working all night as we're hanging out, as I normally do. And yeah, you can catch me over on Thursdays. I'm on Tommy's channel. We got the collectible pass with 2 guineas. And yeah, that's always a blast. I just put up a new toy review as well, Marvel Legends Tigra, so you can check that out. I'm surprised that Marvel Legends actually released a figure that is in a bikini. With the way that everything is nowadays, like you thought she'd be covered up and dressed like a priest. I was like, this is kind of interesting, but
wouldn't that be a nun? None?
Right. More accurate. But I don't know. I said priest because everyone's Transformers now, right? So speaking of which, I got my cool Transformers. Tommy, you're awesome. Dude, he had an extra sound wave. And I threw some shekels at him for it, and he sent it like, it wasn't even a full day, it felt like. Man, lightning fast. So maybe I'll do a review on that as well coming up. But yeah, lots more great stuff coming. But more importantly, I'm really happy that tonight was a fun night, and you had a good day as well, my brother. Happy birthday! Enjoy those books, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are on that.
Definitely, man. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us all the time, talking wrestling.
Well, dude, you guys are all friends. I love hanging out with you guys, and like I said, talking about shit that we enjoyed. or still do enjoy. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
a good
always
thing.
yeah. It's always a blast, and it's always a blast with all of you in the chat. Superfan Adam Shawhan, Small Time Republic, Chris Fisk, Keely Chow, so Glenzer, Frankie Knows, Dragon Master. So many people were in the chat tonight. It was
Brutal
really
Morningwood,
active.
awesome one.
Yes, Brutal Morningwood, awesome one. Thank you, Tommy. I'm like trying to scroll up, but it's taking forever to load.
Chris Fisk.
Chris Fisk,
I
definitely.
think he already said Chris Fisk.
Okay, I'm
Gap
sorry. Gap.
Stargate. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so many fucking cool people, dude. I appreciate you guys coming and checking out our little wrestling show and another monster. Thank you. Yeah, and if I missed anyone else, thank you too. And no, I truly appreciate it. I usually end the night with
hang on, Tony.
Yeah.
Somebody else wants to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tony.
Thank you, Ice Hawk.
He's got his invisible outfit on again tonight.
Yeah.
His cloak of invisibility.
Nice.
You know how much mana he picked up with this?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Fire Talk.
Fire Turkey.
Fire Turkey.
I'm gonna get my boosters for my birthday.
Good.
Don't do it.
You don't. I'm gonna go drink all your wine.
Oh, did you say you're gonna drink all his wine? Okay, you're fired.
You can't get your boosters. You can't, because then it'd be the boosted world review, and we can't have that.
Why are the dog and the cat in here fighting under the green screen?
Yeah, that's like a John Cena cloak right there.
All right.
There he is.
Look, it's John China in his 5 head. Here. What is Stayware? What did you just turn on, homie?
What happened?
I don't know. Trey touched the headphone and it did something. I have no idea. He's adjusting stuff. I don't know. We're fine. We're all fine. Just a weapons malfunction. How are you?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
DK427. I'm not the gay stormtrooper.
What's your number? 246-865. Window door and window door.
685-8684. The window warehouse saves you more. All right, we're done. We're done singing commercial jingles. I'm sorry.
This stream has not been sponsored by that company.
McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
685-8684. 685.
That's good.
That kid is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
And thank you. Now I know where to get my windows repaired or anything, so I appreciate that.
He's just a floating head right now. It's amazing.
It is.
Wait,
Oh my god, he's gone.
Is that a creeper hoodie?
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
No, dude, it's like a full on like creeper pajama, like footy pajamas. I'm like, I want one of these in like an adult size, yo.
Yeah, man.
So we cannot be seen.
So I can sit in front of the green screen and just be like a floating head.
Nice.
Mechalaka high, Mechalani ho.
So, do the line, Brian. Mechalaka high, Mecha high. God, I hate you.
So,
right,
with
man,
that,
we'll let you
ladies
go, bro.
and gentlemen, now I normally in the night, I let everybody know, they are not pop culture, they are agenda. We are pop culture, but I'm inspired by Tommy's outro. It's just such a beautiful quote that I have another quote from another great man. And that's, yay, I can play as a creative male wrestler, Benoit, and beat women in front of a cheering crowd.
Good night, everybody.